Squeak. Once again, just W King.
And welcome back, Saints fans, for our Academy matchup here. University of South Carolina Smutter against St. Clair College Academy here as we get into this hardpoint matchup here. Koala gonna strike with first blood right off the bat here. We can't even get through the rosters. Audi, KMC, Koala, Rare for the side of St. Clair. On the flip side for South Carolina, Reno, Whoop, Shark, Jumps. Oh my goodness, let's go.
Yeah, and Jumps putting in some work on site already. Taking down that one for USC there. Rare caught in a corner between two. The pinch is going to work out for Reno as he finds the kill. KMC trying to trade one back. Audi finds one on the point, and they should be able to pick up a little bit of points here. Reno whiffing that spray, but KMC just jumping right back into it. Koala hits one onto the site, but it's still USC who's got control of the site at the moment.
Yeah, it's going back and forth, extremely even. This is not something that we're usually accustomed to seeing in these hard points. It's usually one person taking a lot of points on a hard point at once, but you can see here only about a 10-point difference between them as we get to the second hard point. We'll see what Saints Academy is able to put together, because that opening there, especially from Reno and Jumps, was a really strong start for them, and they're continuing this trend right here with picking up a couple more frags here.
Yeah, and I think that really reflects in the score right now too. No player other than Reno really, like popping out as someone who's just absolutely controlling the game right now. Look at the kill feed right now. Very back and forth kills, constant trades going out, and right now Saints have found themselves maybe 10 points of a lead, but that can all go away in an instant as we see right now. Two players holding down this hard point, and now it's going to go back to Saints on the rest of this rotation, it looks like.
Yeah, and you can see Koala just sort of carrying the load at this point, 7-2 for Academy here. They're really looking to push this forward as much as possible, but once again, so back and forth. This is what we expected of two undefeated teams coming into today, and I mean, we talked about how Gojibek, they were sort of the monsters there at the beginning, but sort of pulling back a little bit now, and Academy doing a good job at Rare with a triple kill coming through as well.
Yeah, that triple kill comes through. Nade not going to land by Audi. Actually comes back on herself there, and this is a contested point right here. Jump's gonna hop off of it. Triple kill going over to University of South Carolina. That should give them lots of points here left on the site as Saints have to regroup and find a point of attack here. Shark with one from behind, and Reno killing one, but Koala there to even it out and maybe push onto the point here, but three Saints now having to make this work, but just barely make it out of there. Rare finding a double.
And you can see Koala and Rare really carrying the load for Academy thus far, but so even back and forth this goes. Really no control going either way by a huge margin. You can see still very close as we get to, I think this is our third hard point, going to our fourth one. So there's back and forth. The frag continuously falling, and every single time that there's, 2 or 3 more showing up in that kill feed, we see that control switch back over from team to team. But this is incredibly close already. Probably the closest hard point we've had on stream in a while.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're about to be dead even here on points, and dead even it stays, but now it's Sumter coming in, find a couple more points onto site. Only one player left actually on this hard point. Reno holding these rotations there, spots out Koala, finds the one. Audi gonna fall as well, and now the lead going probably the biggest lead we've seen for either of these teams thus far. About to hit 20 points here for Sumter.
Yeah, Fire Ants are really starting to take a little bit more control of this map. You can see really controlling this point really well, finding all their frags around it, and it seems like St. Clair Academy is just trying to find some sort of effort together to push onto this point. You can see even still, it is contested on this point, and they're trying to get a little bit more control behind it here, but nonetheless, you can see how strong this Fire Ants roster is looking, and how much resistance St. Clair Academy is going up against here. It feels like the first time in a while that we've seen them struggle to get sort of a big lead for themselves, and these Fire Ants, they're looking pretty strong.
Yeah, and now really on the contrary to the starting of the game as well, this scoreboard really starting to open up the Fire Ants way there. We see one player, Shark, 9-16, but also, you're seeing Jumps there at the bottom, 16 kills, 13 kills, Shark hitting double digits now after that, and even with the Saints on the hard point right now, they're still being cleared out. Jumps not actually going to win that gunfight. It goes over to Koala. Saints might be able to grab back this lead, but right as I say that, trades once again going back towards Fire Ants there.
Yeah, but Rare on 5, killing spree there. Actually going to get some time on the objective as well. You can just see how difficult it is to get any sort of control every single time. It's trades back and forth. There's not really any streaks building up for either side just because of how many times everyone keeps finding these frags. It's going a little bit more in the way of St. Clair as they start to bring it back a little bit, but once again, as they need to move over to this new hard point, we'll see if they're able to press some control in their favor once again. This game incredibly even already here. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, Fire Ant's pretty well set up for this next hardpoint rotation, and as one drops, it's going to be Shark to get back on that point, start ticking up those points for the team. Shark going to fall, goes back over to the Saints. All four Saints set up towards the center of the map here, but it's Jumps coming in with a quick double. Another triple there now. Converts it to the triple. Can't find the fourth. KMC going to find him in the back there, but still, it's just not working out for the Saints as of these last two hard points here.
Yeah, it just trades back and forth as Qualla finds another one on her screen there. Audi actually going to find the angle of Shark, just hopping through, able to find that frag as well. This has been a little bit of a rough start for Audi here, but still lots of game left to be played here, you know. No one, it's actually just the Fire Ants cresting that halfway point right now, but still, resistance being built up. It's within striking distance, you know, one good hard point push here, and you're able to even this score up another one, and you take the lead as well. So very curious to see how these two teams want to play it out, because, you know, we don't usually see this, but the timer's starting to come into effect here. You know, 3 minutes down here. This could go down to the wire, even through time, if not through points. I don't think we're going to have anything more than like a 50-point lead for either side at this point.
Yeah, really, just with the sheer amount of back and forth this game, Whoop finds one, Shark finds another one. Should be control of the hard point for the Fire Ants for just a little bit here, but once again, you see those three St. Clair players already on those rotations from the back. Koala going to be getting in there, should find themselves in a gunfight. 4 kills, that is going to be a team wipe from the Fire Ants, and now getting themselves a much, much wider lead than we've seen thus far.
Yeah, really, really difficult when you get team wiped there, because it just gives up that hard point for effectively the rest of the round. That's going to extend that lead up to around 50 points now in favor of the Fire Ants. But once again, St. Clair are going to try and pick up the scraps at the end of this, try and close the gap a little bit. But even then, this has been really, really competitive thus far. You can see only Rare is positive on the side of St. Clair thus far. It's been a tough road for them because all these frags keep coming down. But you put together a couple kills, it doesn't matter what your KDA is at the end of it. You just got to get that objective time.
Yeah, at this point, it seems like the Fire Ants, they're just content with playing the war of attrition and, you know, taking, you know, 5-10 more points than the Saints are able to on each hard point and just slowly building up that lead, now up to a 40-point lead here. Hard point been contested here for about 5 seconds. Audi tries to slide through, but there goes the picks in the way of the Fire Ants. And once again, Saints able to grab, you know, now going up to about 10 points here, 10 seconds available. KMC taking down Whoop as well, but the onslaught of kills coming out from the Fire Ants. KMC, though, finds 3 for herself before falling. 5 kill streak as well right before death there, so that should give a little bit of hope here back to the Saints. It's now only a 25-point deficit.
Yeah, you can see KS sort of come into their own, had a really slow start to this one, but really starting to build up the kills at this point as well, trying to carry that team out here. And you can see just finding a lot of frags here, finding these kills consistently, but Shark on the flip side doing a great job. Look at how even this is just across the KDs. 25-25 on both Shark and Jumps. You can see how messy this game has been as well as this hard point. Heavily contested from both sides. No one's getting any sort of advantage here, but finally the Fire Ants are able to push through, but Rare strikes back with 2 more.
Yeah, wow, these, I never even looked at the scoreboard in the past, like, 2 hard points here. The sheer amount of deaths from both sides and kills, like, it's just perfectly even on both sides here almost, and trades coming back and forth once again. Reno finding a double. Oop, double for themselves as well. That is going to be a team wipe as all of Saints Academy here just staggering and not really being able to get a coordinated push set up here on this hard point, as there's a little bit of contention. Not going to let the Fire Ants hit 200 here on this last hard point.
Yeah, going to do their best to try and get as many points as possible, but as you can see here, Reno, 2 minutes of objective time there, has just been camping these points, finding so many kills in a row. They've really been the one to carry this South Carolina Sumter team to this lead at this point, but of course, cresting 200 points is getting a little bit dicey here. St. Clair need to try and get themselves together and try and get some more coordination here, because these points are starting to rack up, and as you said, war of attrition doesn't really matter if you're getting the entire point or grabbing a huge lead. Just starting to come down to the wire here, especially now. They only need about half of a point to go.
Yeah, it's going to just be coming down to shutting down. Reno and Shark are the two I've got my eye on here. Shark seems to find their way in, find a triple, almost a quad kill on the point almost every time there, and KMC, they're able to shut down so many from afar, but second she jumps onto the point there, it's going to be going down, and this game has all but went South Carolina Smutter's way.
Yeah, 15 seconds that Fire Ants need. It's a quarter of a point, basically, on one of these next points. You can just see how evenly distributed all those kills are as well. Boom, not really racking up as many kills, but also not racking up as many deaths in that. But you can see just trying to fight for control here. Might just be the last point. Not a whole lot to push through it, okay? Doing what they can with 38 kills for themselves, but unfortunately, looks like this one should be going the way of the Fire Ants. Just trying to resist as much as possible at the last second here is the side of Academy, but the frags are going down. USCS going to be able to take this map one.
Yeah, wow, great showing from them there. Really playing almost like the back row game in that hard point there, grabbing the points, grabbing the lead, and like we said, yeah, war of attrition, just beat them out by being on the hard point that much more than them every single time. Just that little bit, those 5-10 points every single time, they're going to rack up, and wow, that scoreboard, just an absolute bloodbath of a game there.
Yeah, just really messy game from both teams in a lot of ways, but it's, as you said, the war of attrition. Sometimes those messier games can favor just one team by chance in a lot of senses. You get a couple more frags going your way. Maybe that game goes the opposite way. Maybe it goes to another couple of points. Maybe you're able to put more of a coordinated effort forward, but really well played on both sides, I think. And very curious to see how this transfers over to the next map with S&D, because that's a little slower, and with how aggressive both of these teams played this first hard point, a little bit curious to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, so that is going to be South Carolina Fire Ants there taking game 1, map 1. We are going to be back in just a little bit after this break with some more Bocage, actually. Bocage Search and Destroy, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you for map 2.
Demolishing everything that Northeastern are able to pull through for themselves. Priestley once again back on this point, but actually they will finally get to double digits. I was worried for a little bit for Northeastern there, but yeah, this is really difficult.
That was quick. Oh wow, this is the play. You gotta watch. Look at him live. Saints in this defending round. Bendy, how many can he find here? There's one. Second one not gonna be found.
South Carolina, it's been a lot slower offensively for Carolina this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you didn't get that momentum off of that initial play there, and Spood.
A passing play up here. Spood still has possession. Gonna wall ride for a bit and get that second touch as well. So Spood's great job of playing keep away in South Carolina's end so far.
Oh, is that one gonna weave it in? Weird. Now here in game 2, we're seeing a cleat here. Shark with one from behind, and Reno killing one, but Koala there to even it out and maybe push onto the point here, but Free Saints now having to make this work, but
be there for the follow.
Just barely make it out of there. Rare finding a
He's going to be there for the follow, and bang, home. The Saints are like pretty heavily committing up in this mid line.
Really no control going either way by a huge margin. You can see still
trying to get another one of those nose dribbles, and Shark. Yeah,
Misfire. Two members eyeing down the ball. Neither going to chase it. That will leave you in a world of hurt, especially if it's in the crease. South Carolina once again maximizing the chances. They see a window, they're taking it. They're opening the window, running right through, jumping in, and the Saints trying to get back in the score sheet here. They're trying to get a couple of shots back to back. Spoons and Quint tied up a little bit. Spoons, great job to get by the defender. Going to set up Quint. Wow, great job is going to get demoed there as Quint. Now Kamal trying to find the second touch. They get the angle, not going to quite get the angle on Og there. And now back into the corner once more. Spoons. Yeah, get the reset. Trying to find something over the middle. Going to see Quint and Spoons
has one drop. It's going to be Shark to get
very, very far. They're going to try to find something. Is going to find one. Two on the spray. Going to find a third. Going to find a fourth. Can he find the fifth? One more to play. Got the pistol and an ace right up on the start of the round. Rushes up. Drops there now. 5 off, and the Saints are going to take it.
Can't find the door. KMC gonna find them in their bit here, but once again, looks like see those setting up for their players. Already 2 picks coming back. Koala gonna be getting in there. They're gonna find a gunfight.
Multiple members getting involved.
Kills. That is gonna be a team wipe from the Fire Ants, and now getting themselves a much wider kill.
Doesn't matter. He's going to go through as well.
Is at the end of it.
Once again, going to find that pick, and now
all
on Domingo with this off, so he is going to get shut down right away, buddy.
And here we are coming in for map 2, right back to Bocage, but slowing down the pace a little bit. We're going to be coming in for Search here. We've got South Carolina Fire Ants starting here on the attack. Saints Academy on defense, and this should be a much, much different game from the last game we saw.
Oh yeah, a little bit more coordinated this time around. I think especially after that last map where it felt like neither of us could really catch our breath, and neither could the players in that sense. We'll find out if they're able to sort of slow it down, see how their sort of tactical approach to all of this will go. As far no frags coming down, but already a plan coming through onto this A site here from Jump. So while you're still trying to force some control out from the side, from either side, not really much coming through, but Shark can actually pick up that first blood, going to be replied to really quickly by Koala and K.
Yeah, Koala and KMC fighting the first 2 picks there. Audi gonna fall, but this bomb did not end up going down, so currently slightly towards that defense advantage, but 2v3 in COD, it's always doable.
Exactly. I think you just need to find that one person getting caught out just a little bit here. You can see Shark just trying to find any sort of angle, moving over towards this B site now, trying to get this plant down as well. This is a little bit odd. We don't normally see them go for this B site as often. Very often just A over and over again, but gonna get that bomb planted down here now. 45 seconds on the clock. Academy gonna have to try and wrest some control back for themselves, and goodness, it felt like they were in the advantage there, but not gonna be able to find it. Koala gonna find 2 in a row. That's gonna be a defuse as well. Koala really coming in the clutch there.
Yeah, 3K for Koala in that round, and that is going to take the round for them as well. Saints taking round 1 here, and while a very, very good last-second attempt there from the Fire Ants, it was actually Koala just to shut that down. Reno not ready for those shots in the back while prone there, and just absolutely wiping out this site.
In a way, they're Koala sort of playing cleanup crew. They're sort of picking up all 3 of those kills after other people had sort of gotten in on it, the action. But now going to switch sides here. We'll see what the angle is for the side of Saints Academy here. I think that we'll have to see if they opt to go for the same sort of slower approach. It felt like they played it rather slow this time around, and if SES are going to sort of bring forward a little bit more aggression, and that's exactly what happens. Jumps picks up that first blood incredibly early on here. Looking for another one by K, going to be able to pick that one up in return. Jumps finds the second of the round already. This is a lot quicker from the side of USC.
Yeah, so much quicker, and now we're in the same situation, but I guess not flip sidewise, defending team up 2 kills, whereas the attackers have only found 1. KMC, bomb in hand. Here's the difference this round. Bomb is down, and the Fire Ants know where it's at. KMC, you can refuge here in the top floor. Just going to be holding that staircase. You've got 45 seconds to play with, and Rare has now grabbed the bomb. Got to make something work here. Jumps there. Quick peek out the door, and now bomb is down right in that doorway. KMC going to be coming in and actually finding that kill now. The rotation back upstairs. At least you can stay unpredictable here. You've got so many options to leave that house, but right behind you, Shark spots you out of that window, KMC, and she is gonna fall there. 1-1 here in Search.
Yeah, sound cues are a lot more difficult to found in COD to deal with, and as you can see there, Shark was able to sort of sprint up behind, find that kill on the K there, of course. Was put in a little bit of a tough situation there in the 2v1, but once again, this defensive bastion sort of coming through from both of these sides, holding their sights for now.
Yeah, and as we get into this next one, I definitely want to see how the start of this round plays out, because we just saw 2 very different rounds. We saw quick kills in round 2 there, but round 1 probably took about 30 seconds before any shots were fired, really. Grenades gonna be landing from both sides here. Rare. Green gonna go red, gonna have to be forced to back off and just reset there for a sec, and now it's actually the Fire Ants who are close to having all this control over a site. Bomb not going to be planted, though. Rare shutting it down. Now down to a 3v3.
You can see just trying to hold off this A site here. Bomb, I believe, was just picked up by Shark, although it was down, but you can see Hey just consistently firing down the shots. Finds one onto Whoop there. 15 health, going to be able to escape with her life there. And now in a 3v2, once again, defense has been king in this S&D thus far. Even still, lots of damage coming through from both sides. It's going to be tough for them to get any sort of control once again because of that odd man advantage.
Yeah, KMC also just like cracked with that AR. Like, it feels like every time they find that first shot in the gunfight, it's going to be a win going over to them, and they're going to take that. Now here, it's actually the Fire Ants. Lance going to try and come down. No nades left from Rare. Nothing really to stop this. KMC, everything available, but now the plant comes down, and Reno going to find the trade there. Shark, free rotation out of there, and it's Rare and Audi left to clean up the scraps here. Everyone going to fall, in the end, and St. Clair College taking another defending round.
Yeah, it's this sort of retake coming through from the side of Academy that's able to consistently push them forward here. Really well played from Rare and Audi once again to sort of hold the line. They'd sort of been a little bit quiet to start off this match, but really showing up in their own, showing that this is, you know, a four-pronged attack. Sort of like a fork, you know, just put it in there. All four of them got to do their work to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone needs to be on the same page to make a round like this work, especially against a team who's giving, you know, so much resistance like the Fire Ants. And now we've seen defending teams win every single round. Can that trend continue? It's all up to South Carolina here.
Yeah, I think especially when you've got, you know, two really evenly matched teams, it can come down to the slimmest of margins every single time. We've seen it come down to, you know, 2v1s, you know, 1v2s at that. We'll see if that continues to come through, but, you know, thus far defense has been king. As we've been talking about, A, going to be able to find that first blood once again. So sort of opening up the door here for this attacking side to look for a plant and maybe push forward that time constraint, but Rare are going to fall off screen.
Koala getting this plant down. It actually looks like it's going to be good. No one from USC really ready there to try and contest it. Now, this is going to be a 3v3 skirmish coming out here right around the bomb site. Jumps. I think they got an audio cue there. Yeah, going to take down Audi. Jumps finds the first one. Koala not able to trade one back. Shark. What movement around the bomb there. KMC traded back out as well as the last alive. And Whoop is going to be there for the defuse. So the trend continues. Defending side wins here in Search and Destroy Bow College just up until now.
Yeah, back and forth, back and forth. You can see K really sort of left with the scraps at that one in a 2v1 situation. You know, all of this is sort of trades back and forth every single time there's a kill going down. So it's really difficult for anyone to get that advantage. It really comes down to who sort of gets your peak first. If you're able to find one uncontested, you're able to pick up your second of the round. That's going to look good. And Whoop, coming through with that 2K at the end of that round, really sort of solidified that for the Fire Ants. This one is... oh my goodness, this one might go down to the wire again.
Yeah, first 2 kills for Whoop in the game so far as well. So, you know, you haven't done much until that 4th round. You come in, you clutch it out for the team. It's got to feel good. Got to get the momentum going. And God, such a momentum game. But Koala and KMC trying to change that. Reno coming back with 2 of their own. And now, actually after that, ends up being Saints-sided here. Audi trading it back onto Reno. Whoop left. Can you find this clutch once again here in the 1v2? No bomb in hand, but it doesn't look like the Saints actually know where that bomb's at, or at least they're not watching it at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to find any sort of angles. It's really, really hard for Whoop to find this bomb as well. Just holding as many angles as possible. Maybe trying to catch them lacking, walking through an area without expecting a Saints player to be there. So, are just sort of time constraints once again, you know, 30 seconds left in the round.
Rare knows. Look at that angle. Whoop not ready, you know. The last player doesn't show up for long enough. You have to expect the flank, and there it is. Once again, continuing the trend, 5 rounds in a row here. Defending team wins. Coming in to round 6, we're still seeing a almost dead even game here.
Yeah, that was a clean headshot at the end there. That's what sort of sealed the deal, but nonetheless, really difficult for either one of these teams to sort of put forward an effort on this attacking side. That time it was St. Clair just going aggressive on the defense, a very similar strategy to what we saw in round 2 coming through from South Carolina Sumter. So if that continues, if the aggression will sort of reign supreme, because thus far, every time that the team has gone aggressive, it's 2 for 2 and them just absolutely wiping the round.
Oh, jump spotted out by KMC off of the stun grenade. Able to find that kill. Now you're 1 player up. Saints, you just got to not get picked by one of these long-range ARs. That's really been the turning point in so many of these rounds. Shark, you spot Koala? No, just got an idea. Gonna toss the stun grenade in there. Doesn't look like Koala was very phased. Someone's about to meet Shark here.
Might be a little bit of an aggressive play. Audi actually kind of made Shark and win that trade as well. So 2v4 now. This is the first time that we've seen an attacking side get that advantage for themselves, and this is going to look good as they get that plant down. You've got this advantage. You just need to make sure you defend the site for yourself. Now, retake, we'll have to see how USCS are able to sort of get that control back. Oh, that's one way to do it, but you do get traded out as well. So it's a 3v1, and wow, great round from St. Clair to finally break through this deadlock coming through. First round winning on attack. Round 6, this is how long it's taken for any team to sort of push through and find that new advantage.
Yeah, first attacking round 1, and first time we've seen a 2-round lead here in this game. Saints Academy, can you run with it? Can you make this the 5-2 and force Fire Ants down to that match point, that game point. Keep it 1-1 here in the series.
Pressure's on for both of these teams in a lot of ways. I don't think that the pressure goes away from St. Clair Academy because you just won that first attacking round. You don't want to give that advantage back at that, so we'll find out how that is after that.
Reno just going to be holding these long range angles here on the left side of the map there. Rare. I've always thought this spot was just so cheesy, that tank spot on the site. I know that all the players probably know about it and they're ready to like look at it, but to me it's just like, shouldn't be able to hold the site from that far away, but just comes down to how good the automaton is here in this game. We're back to a very slow round here. No picks and only 45 seconds left on the clock.
Now we'll have to find out what first one to fall. Actually, it's going to be Rare picking one up, but it's traded back immediately. You can see a lot of slower play coming through in this round. It's paying off of the side of Academy, though. This is E2 now coming through. Shark going to be that last one left alive as Saints Academy finding the frags, finding the angles on everyone. It's just Shark left, but K out of that window a little bit too aggressively and ends up falling.
Yeah, KMC not able to just absolutely shred through that last player like she did the rest. Shark, you can make this clutch possible. Now down to a 1v1 against Rare. Rare sitting over there by the A site, so gonna have to rotate towards this B after the plant, and the time is there as well.
Barely enough time to get that plant down. Now pressure is on. You figure where that bomb is now. You know, you didn't see them coming through. Shark picking up everything this round. Rare just any sort of advantage, any sort of peak to come through. This is so difficult from either side. Rare's found the frag, gonna have enough time to defuse as well. Great clutch coming through.
Yeah, Rare, use that automaton to your advantage, use that AR to your advantage, because those long-range gunfights are always going your way. Rare, gonna close this out, put it here on match point for USC. Wow, they gotta make something work here, because after that second round, it's been a Saints show through and through. Shark trying their best to, you know, even it out a little bit there for the team, but the 1v1s, that SMG just not going to win it in a lot of situations.
Yeah, very curious to see how St. Clair Academy is going to be able to pop through here. You can see how much K has sort of played in this match. 12 kills for herself thus far. Has really sort of been that X factor for the side of St. Clair Academy. We'll see if that continues in this round. Jump still going to find first blood onto Audi. K already in the middle of everyone. Finds two for themselves already. This is absolutely wonderful coming through. We'll see if they're able to clutch it up, though. 2v2. This is a little bit of a tough situation, but once again, this is how they sort of won on attack last time around. Rare, though, going to get cut down, and now all on the back of K. They found one there. It's just K versus Reno. Can K get the 4K, the team kill for themselves at this round? Gotta pick up the bomb first. That's what's going to be the difficult part. Oh my goodness, the catch out Reno. Not going to be enough.
Ace not going to come through, but I mean, that round just shows you cannot deny the amount of value that KMC is bringing to the Saints Academy team. Reno just ready on that angle, keeping the Fire Ants here in this game. You've only got 2 more rounds to tie it up, and then it's do or die there for both teams. Going back over to the Saints side, I mean, KMC, you know, you can play team deathmatch all you want, but in the end, you know, you got to be that last man standing. You got to be that last player standing, because otherwise, rounds going the other way. Defending side, though, we've seen Saints have a lot of success here.
Well, yeah, 100% success rate, to put it lightly there. Very, very strong, but Jump's going to find that first blood once again. Sort of figuring out where some of these Saints players like to sit. K holding on to this B side this time around, maybe expecting this side of South Carolina Center to push towards that B side this time around. We're going to follow as well. It's going to be K against the world once again. But you know what? We saw how well they were able to clutch it out last round, coming oh so close. Let's see if they can potentially recreate that, because this is going to be tough. You've got to defend one of these rounds here, and oh my goodness, K gonna find the one, but not gonna be enough.
Yeah, that is the Fire Ants keeping themselves in the game here, looking for that 2-0 here in the series. They're not looking to drop a search game. They're not trying to take it all the way to Berlin. They're looking for a 3-0. They're looking to stay undefeated in maps as well, because as we've talked about, these Fire Ants have not dropped a map here thus far, and you know, you can see why. The team play is really there, and even though, you know, you've got 3 players negative there on the team, those 3 players have found, you know, 2K, 3Ks for themselves in the round and really taken those rounds for the team. So comes down to the Saints just getting picked apart one by one here in these past few rounds. Shark gonna fall to Audi. Audi not gonna chase that second player up the stairs. You know Jumps is holding that angle. Just gonna take the rotation, you know, evening out the numbers and start moving towards this A site.
Long range from Rare, not going to be able to land the shots. K going to fall as well. This is looking a little bit tough because this is an attacking round. Once again, we've talked about how difficult it's been for attackers to push through. You know, it's really just been a mistake from SES that gave the side of St. Clair Academy that round, and then last round as well, just a very aggressive play. Jump's actually going to fall as well, so it's down to a 2v2. Audie's picked up that bomb as well, so really going to have to try and find any sort of openings here. 30 seconds left on the clock. You know, and Whoop, they've been able to sort of hold the line in their own rights, both, or a couple of rounds each here, so curious to see who comes through. Oh my goodness, Reno's found the timing there onto Rare. Let's see if they're able to pick this one up. Look at the hold on the angle. No, Audie falls as well, and Rare, last one alive, but, oh, wow.
They let him walk. They do let him walk, and Rare not going to find the angle on the back there of Reno, and now going to be walking straight into Reno's crosshairs on the right. Rare is going to fall. Definitely a winnable round for the Saints. The communication was not there. I mean, Rare is literally holding that angle after being shot in the back. You think you would tell your teammate, hey, don't drop in front of this tunnel here. There might be someone holding it, but Audie is going to fall there. And now it's the Fire Ants making this comeback from the absolute trenches here in Search and Destroy. 3 rounds down, and now you're here at 5-5 and on the defending side.
Yeah, going to be feeling pretty good about that if they're able to hold this once again. Audie has that bomb. We'll see if St. Clair are able to break through once again. This has been such a close back-and-forth map, but nonetheless, South Carolina continuously putting up resistance time and time again, while holding the angle here, waiting for anything to come down, but thus far, not a whole lot expended. A lot of utility used, a lot of these grenades coming through, but not quite the shots.
Yeah. Oof. No player's actually going to fall just yet here. 1 minute into the game. Rare seeing red, but not out just yet. Be going on that rotation. Shark is close to beating Koala and Audie here. KMC going to take down Sharp, rotate out of the way of Jumps as well. Jumps going to be taking to this high ground, take to that upper floor, rotate out the window. Now going to fall back down, might meet Rare here near that bomb site. Rare. Spray's gonna whiff, but same as Jumps. It's been so many gunfights that haven't ended in kills here, but now the ones that have going towards the side of the Saints. Whoop gonna fall. That is St. Clair College 6-5. You might have let it go a little quickly there at the end, but you've brought it back for yourself. 1st to 6 rounds here. Saints are gonna take it.
And against the history as well in a lot of ways, this map has been basically 2 attacker wins compared to, 10 defense wins. In overtime, basically, you're able to secure that win for yourself. So really, really, really well played from Academy to sort of hold their ground. Now we get to say the line that we always look forward to saying whenever we get these. We got a series on our hands, so very curious to see how Map 3 goes. We are guaranteed to see Berlin at least once now here, so very curious to see if any sort of adaptations come through, because now that we're guaranteed another hardpoint map, you know, maybe Saints are a little bit more cautious, a little bit more aggressive now on this control map as well to try and push it once again to S&D, because they showed that they can win on both sides of that map as well. So very, very interested to see how the rest of this series goes.
Yeah, they've definitely showed their prowess in S&D there. The Fire Ants, though, definitely fighting back. Like, they are not going down without a fight in any of these games here. And moving on to Control, I think it can go either way here. I mean, we've seen just how tight these teams are, and as while definitely that hardpoint game going in the way of the Fire Ants, and Control, you know, almost a similar kind of play style to hardpoint. You know, it does go round-based, and I definitely think the Fire Ants, they're a lot better in those really hectic situations at just shooting it out and finding the multi-kills. And in Control, a lot of times the team that can do that is the one that takes the win. So it's going to be very interesting coming here into Tuscan Map 3. We are going to be right back with you after this break. It's always
control of this game.
Exactly.
Only one kill. You just need to find that one over to the side of Northeastern. But all that we can see the dominance this team is ready to pop down an angle. Half of this game right now is trying to get absolutely to this is a little bit odd. We don't normally see them go for this themselves as often. Very often once again. Over and over again. Actually, they will finally get the double digits. I was 45 seconds. Worried for a little bit for Northeastern. This is really different control. That was quick.
Oh wow, this is
felt like they were playing.
Look at him, refuge here in the top four, defending round Bendy. How many can he find? 45 seconds to play with, and Rare is now grabbing bomb.
South Carolina,
Make something work here. Jumps there. Quick peek out the door, and now bomb is down. Momentum off of that initial play there. AMC
up here, Spoots. Those
coming
possession.
in, actually finding that kill now.
And get that second touch as well. So Spoots, great job of playing keep away in South Carolina's end so far.
At least you can say
is that one gonna weave it in?
So many options to leave that nose, but now right behind game 2, we're seeing a clean trio here coming into the end of the game.
Last 15 seconds gonna come in. Quinn trying to
like,
find one.
Like every time
just
they
barely
find
taps it off.
This is very much, you know, they have all the time in the world to get it back. Spoots trying to get it done by himself. Now Quinn's going to be there for the follow. Not able to find that second touch. Kamal is going to be there for the follow.
No
and
nades
bang
left from Rare.
home.
Nothing really
The
to
Saints are
stop
like
this.
pretty heavily
AMC,
committing up on
everything
this
available, but now the plant comes down, and Reno going to find the trade there. Shark, free rotation
trying to
out
get
of there.
another one of those
nose
and
handoff.
Yeah.
Misfire. 2 members eyeing down the ball. Neither going to chase it. That will leave you in a world of hurt, especially if it's in the crease. South Carolina once again maximizing the chances. They see a window, they're taking it. You know, they're opening the window, running right through it, jumping in, and the Saints trying to get back in the score sheet here. They're trying to get a couple shots back to back.
They got an audio cue there. Yeah,
up a little bit. Great job to get by the defender. Going to set up Quinn.
Koala not able to trade one back. Shark.
Now Kamal.
What movement around the bomb there.
KMC not going to quite get the angle off there. Now back into the corner once more. Spoods. No the reset. Try to find something over the middle. Going to see Quint and Spoods.
Actually know where that bomb's
more than
at,
happy
or
to
at
keep
least they're not watching it.
Pushed up very, very far. They're going to try to find something. Is going to find one. 2 on the spray. Going to find the third. Going to find the fourth. Can he find the fifth? 1 more to play. Got the pistol and an ace right up on the start of the round. Rushes up, drops all 5 off, and the Saints are going to take
up and really spotted out or given any Rare knows. Look at that angle whoop. Not ready. Setting up for this. Look like Koala was there already. Someone's coming out from Shark here.
Yeah, a setup it was. They're going to find a third there. Multiple members getting involved. Rocket going to get taken out there. So now we're down to the 4v2. Get RD whipping Domingo.
Get that
make some kind of play here. Smoke is going to go through. I believe Molly's going to go through as well. Nick once again going to find that pick. And now all on Domingo with this off. So he is going to get shut down right away by
the only person to stop anything ready from the Saints
out as well. So it's a 3v1.
They're just walking it all the way now down to a 1v1 against Rare. Rare
Rocket
getting over there
here
to
sight.
So
he's out, and you find
is really going to not allow Waylon to get out of the spawn for a little bit.
Yeah, and using that slow can actually set up your Widowmaker pretty nicely, because if Emran already has pretty nasty aim, a character moving at half speed is going to be pretty freelow for him to get those picks, and we've seen they're finding those early picks on the DPS every single time. Crime going to find that kill on the waifu there, and now Squeak once again just W keying with this Reinhardt, taking out everybody left and right, swinging through left and right. Going to find 3 kills there, and the Saints on an absolute tear right now. Now it's the CPS and support both find picks consistently. Definitely a very good sign for them. So they're going to love this start. They're going to watch. They're going to watch these plays back and be in love with it.
It's just K versus Reno.
He feels comfortable in any single role. The Saints are going to use it, and the Saints are absolutely slaughtering Waylon to start things off.
With already in the middle of everyone finds 2 for themselves already. This is absolutely wonderful.
Which we haven't seen that.
Sim, you know, he's just like focused on all the comms are. So you understand how frustrating it is to play against, especially on a start like this. You just get that free turret damage with the free laser damage right off the door, and then this can just play back to your backline. And their backline has been flawless so far.
Especially with a mini rework system extra on her teleporter.
High ground, taking that up before. Here we go. Map 3, back to, you know, the fated destination here in Vanguard, Tuscan, and we are back here on Control. You know, at least we're not seeing Tuscan search for the first Tuscan map here, and starting off hot, there it is, the Fire Ants finding 3, and as we talked about just before the break, Control, it's going to go to the team that finds the most multi-kills. You're already seeing a 6-life lead here for the Fire Ants, just absolutely ripping through the Saints at the starting of this one. KMC trading 1 back, but only 2 kills going towards the side of the Saints so far, and the Fire Ants there on that attacking side already found 1 tick at A. V-tick might happen. There is a contention fight. Which way is it going to go? It looks like it goes towards the Saints. As now it's just going to be the Fire Ants content with taking the rest of that A point, it looks like.
Yeah, just an incredible start from the Fire Ants, just able to find so many frags in a row. You can see 8-kill lead going for themselves, still holding at that, halfway through the lives already. And it's been, what, a minute into this one from the side of St. Clair Academy. Seems like they sort of pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly. They pushed forward a little bit too much off of the get-go, and now they're forced to play a little bit more tactically. But even then, when you're down 9-10 lives at this point already, it's going to be so difficult, especially with that A site already controlled by the side of the Fire Ants.
Yeah, and Whoop, look at that ankle in the corner. Not actually going to find the kill onto KMC there. KMC, are you going to re-peek this? You know the player's on the right, but she's actually going to fall. Whoop is the one who wins that gunfight. Jump's also going to find one, and yeah, there's the occasional kill being traded back from a player like Koala, but in the end, 10 lives left here for Saints Academy and only one objective left. A minute 30? I mean, South Carolina can basically play team deathmatch at this point and find the win.
And that's exactly what they seem to be doing here. Only a live left apiece for the side of the Academy players here from St. Clair. It's going to be difficult for them to push this one back. They're going to have to just stall out the game at that, but even then, so difficult. There's 80 seconds left. That's an eternity in COD, it feels like. Although, a little bit of resistance coming back, and I think Koala, after a really cold start to this map, has sort of come into their own here. They had a 5 streak, died, now another 2 streak going for themselves, doing what they can to sort of put any sort of resistance up, but now barely any respawns left, 1 respawn left to be exact, and that's going to be really difficult for them to resist. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah, and there now, absolutely tearing apart the rest of the Saints. There is that AR going to be cutting them off. Rare and KMC, the only 2 left alive, and personally, I don't mind them getting very aggressive and being confident in these gunfights, because it's do or die now. Pull out that pistol and make it work, but KMC gonna fall in the end after a nice triple kill of resistance on that point. But that round overall going pretty dominantly to the Fire Ants.
Yeah, and I think especially right off the get-go there, it just didn't even feel close. There was 3-4 Saints falling right off the bat here. No chance for them to really get any control after that. It just sort of tumbled down. What ends up happening in a lot of the control maps is that if one team gets a little bit of momentum, they can just continue to push that forward. You just start to use that lives win condition as well. There's 2 win conditions in this. You either control or you get a bunch of kills, and that's what makes it really difficult for a team when you just drop off the get-go here. And once again, 2 early frags, 3 early frags coming through from the side of SCS. And attack defense does not matter. They're going for the kill win condition every single time.
Yeah, and it plays to their strength. You can see Jumps in the kill feed, Reno in the kill feed, just so good at finding 1, 2, 3, now 5 up there for Reno on the streak, and not really any ticks coming down for the Saints. They're all being now recontrolled and now all the way back down to 0 for the Saints.
Yeah, it's really difficult for anyone to get any sort of streaks going on the side of St. Clair Academy. You can see K getting a little bit of a streak for themselves here, but once again, it's so difficult to get that rested effort together to get on these points and try and control it. No ticks yet taken at A, even still contested at the very last second here, and with how Shark has been fragging out thus far, it's going to be difficult to win that one. You're going to need a couple more members there, but every single time we're getting these Fire Ants on our kill feed. Look at this. It's just another team wipe coming through. 15 lives remaining, and, really, really difficult to get any sort of control to extend that timer any farther when you can't even get enough people on the map to control these points.
Yeah, you're staying like 10, 12 lives down now almost every single time, and while KMC's there, Koala's there to try and even it out, it's really this objective time that is getting to them. Now, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're still being wiped out. Not even a tick to their name on one of these control points, and it is really just not going the Saints' way here in control, but there might be a little bit of hope. Saints gonna be all inning there at B. KMC trying to make the solo play, but falling from behind. This is do or die for the Saints here. Yeah. They gotta keep contention of this, gotta keep freezing the clock to try and get that extra minute that you get. Now, second tick down here at B. Rare winning the gunfight against Shark 2. This could be good for the Saints. All but cleared out now. They're keeping even progress, though.
Yeah, they're stalling the time at the very least. 2 ticks on both sides here. Koala now just holding the line as much as possible, just trying to get this point, trying to get that extra minute on the clock, but even then, you know, it's really, really close. They're actually going to secure point A as well. They've got an extra minute. They've got a lot of progress at that B side as well. You know what? At this point, the lives may not matter as much because they can just try and ninja control this point as much as they can. But now you can see the side of USCS just going to try and put a member on that B side, continue to contest that point as much as possible. With no respawns remaining, it's going to come down to the wire here. But Academy did a really good job of turning this around after a really abysmal start.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that, but I believe it was Jumps and KMC there. Yeah, they just absolutely walked by each other earlier, and neither of them saw. That's got to be an FOV gap. I don't know what that is, but now 3 players left from the Saints, only 2 after that kill, and you've only got 1 tick left. Koala, can you make the 1v4 happen here?
Or 10 happen at this point, considering the lies at that, so it's going to be really difficult. And I mean, it was a very good effort coming through from St. Clair Academy, but unfortunately they will fall in that round. The beginning of the rounds have been really rough for the side of Saints Academy, but we saw what sort of flashes of brilliance this team has in the later stages, in that sort of mid to late round. They were really able to put that effort back forward, get a lot of progress on these points, but even then, now that you're on this defense once again, it's going to be really difficult to quell the aggression coming through from USCS, and this team has just been so aggressive every single time, opening rounds off with a bang. I think St. Clair College Academy, they've got to just hold the door as much as possible, try and, you know, get even the first kill here and try and get some momentum going your way.
Yeah, definitely, you know, Saints showed that mid-round adjustment there towards the end, but it really took, you know, being down 15 lives to start showing that, and only having 5 left before you find your first control point. It's not what you want to see on that attacking side, and in the end, it comes back to bite them. Koala finding 2, actually keeping the lives just about even here. Saints trading back and forth, but there's the multi-kills coming out. You see Reno and Whoop there in the kill feed, and now Jump's gonna find 1, 2 there. Shark trading one out there on the map, and that should be a control point here for the Smudder.
And this is what makes it so difficult. The Fire Ants are continuously finding objective kills. That is the main thing to keep in mind. Last round, it was a lot of kills coming through from Saints Academy off the objectives, not really able to defend their control at that. Already A point has been going the way of Fire Ants, and now, you know, you've got your backs not up against the wall as much this time around, but you really need to defend this B point. It is a lot harder to defend that one on Tuscan, as we've seen, but, you know, the kill advantage still just slightly in favor of the Fire Ants, and that might come back to be that win condition. But once again, you know, this time it's a lot closer than we've seen. I think that mid-round adjustment we saw last round has really come through and is starting to show from the side of Academy as they try and get some more control back in their favor.
Yeah, definitely the closest control round we've found now, and everyone knows, if you've watched COD before here, COD Vanguard, you know how hard this B control point is here to take on Tuscan, especially with such an even lives like this. You can't really rely on, you know, not the other team not having any respawns left like we've seen South Carolina do recently. Koala not able to get any of those sprays to land. Can you take down Shark here? Koala on the rotation, just gonna opt to regen in the end. KMC keeping contention here on point, and a few kills going towards the Saints. They're actually life lead in their favor for the first time this entire game.
Yeah, this is the first time that they've had any sort of lead in a round as well, and this is looking good for themselves. If they can continue to hold the line, if they can keep this lives advantage, if they can consistently find these 1-for-1s, 2-for-2s, that is how they're going to end up winning this round at that. My goodness, though, the nade's just going to fly down from the sky, making it so difficult to hold that point, but still, the live lead's still going in favor of the Saints Academy.
Yeah, Whoop, Stun Grenade not going to land, and there goes the aggression from KMC, finding the first one, just barely misses Jumps there, but the movement is too good. Coming back in to retake that gunfight, finds the second. Shark gonna shut down KMC there. No streak to be had just yet. Koala actually on a 5 streak. I didn't even notice that here. Coming up, Audi wins the gunfight against Jump. And now only 20 seconds left for the Fire Ants here to try and start pushing onto this site.
Yeah, and you can see they haven't really been able to find any sort of angle onto the site. They need to just try and pause that timer at that if they want to try and stall it out. But even then, their respawns are starting to come down to the wire as well. They're starting to get a little bit of control here. It's going to come down to this last second here. You can see St. Clair just putting as much resistance up as possible. No respawns left for USC. Let's see if they can push through. But even then, that timer's just ticking down. They don't have a whole lot of time left. Find a frag, though. Ooh, the timer, just tick it down. 1.4 seconds, my goodness.
This is down to the wire. No lives left it all comes down to this. Only 3 players remaining. Second there, and there is the time. Oh, wow. I don't think we've ever seen a control game come down that close in terms of respawn, in terms of time, everything. And that is going to be the first round towards the Saints here, clawing back, starting this comeback in a much, much more even control round than we've seen, and just much cleaner overall from the Saints there.
Yeah, and I think the main players to watch there are Koala and KMC. I think both of them were really able to sort of hold the line, find some really clutch kills there. I mean, we saw streaks coming through from both of them. If they can have a little bit of a repeat performance in this round, even on the attack, they might have a little bit more of a chance to sort of defend here, push themselves back onto the defense where they look so good. But once again, the Fire Ants coming through hard early on here, finding a couple of kills, and now putting the pressure on Saints Academy, who are trying to get this objective time up a little bit here. You've got to get some of that progress on some of these points.
Yeah, and now Audi already trying to get a tick under control here. This is what we saw the last time Saints were on attack, and well, they weren't able to make it out in the end. Now it actually looks like the starting of this round going so much more Saints favored.
I think as soon as they start to focus down these objectives a little bit more, just to sort of push themselves into some sort of favor, put the pressure on the side of the Fire Ants, it has gone really well for them. You can see there's still a contestant at this A point, but if you can get just a little more of that tick, you would be able to complete it. But once again, SES, they're not giving up every single time. These Fire Ants are so resilient, just pushing back against this aggression coming through from Saints Academy. Granted, lives are a lot closer this time around. If they can get some more contest time on this point, it'll look really good for them in the long run.
Yeah, Whoop falls for a nade, giving the Saints the time to start trying to find that second tick that eluded them previously. Jump's gonna fall as well, not before taking down KMC. Now it's dead even on site here, turned into a 2v1. Audi gonna fall. Whoop was about to pinch regardless, but the second point was grabbed there on A site, so a glimmer of hope here for Saints Academy.
This flank from Kale, let's see if they can find the timing. Passing like ships in the night once again. Oh, Jumps is going to be able to collect that one up. You can see now the Fire Ants are starting to push back really heavily onto this A point here. They're trying to get any sort of progress here. You have to continue contesting that point. So close to that third tick. If they can afford another minute for themselves, they may be looking good. But once again, the lives win condition now starting to come into effect. It's only a 2 live difference between the two of them right now. If they can get this point, it may come down to the kills here. And an extra minute on that clock. Half the lives remaining for both of these squads. This is going to be really tight.
KMC just barely missing that kill there onto Jumps. The rotation is going to be good. Whoops, sliding back and forth, finds a double, and now shutting down that Saints push for just another 5-6 seconds there. As the lives, 2 lives in South Carolina's favor, and only 50 seconds for the Saints to find 3 takes here on that B site.
And this is where it gets really difficult because you don't want to just push in onto this point to make any sort of progress and stall that clock kill because you don't have the lives to be able to afford that. This is what makes this B site on Toxism so hard, is that it is so easy to defend it feels every single time. It's always that second point to be captured here, and even then, now you don't really have that peeker's advantage anymore for the side of Saints Academy. You're down 3 lives. You can't afford to trade out these 1-for-1. You have to get multi-kills going for you, and you can see here, every single time there's a trade, it's just pushing Fire Ants further ahead, and this is starting to come down to the wire once again.
Yeah, grenade from Reno, not going to be good for the kill, and actually going to take your life for it as KMC finds that kill. Jump's going to shut down Koala while they try to run onto site there. Only 5 lives left here from the Saints. Last one going to be found. Audi getting down and dirty here on site. She's able to find 2, but going to be taken down. 3 seconds left. Saints, you got to rush in. But that is not going to be it. Game 3 going over here for the Fire Ants. That is going to be 2-1 here in the series. So they have dropped a map now, but still going to be ahead here, and it is all going to come down here. Match point on Berlin. Can the Fire Ants keep their dominance going?
And I think the main trend to look at is just the fact that every single round that the Fire Ants have been winning, they're dominant. They are just crushing it, especially on this control map. We saw that come through. You know, the first couple of rounds there, it seemed like Saints Academy just they just didn't know what to do. They were completely lost. They were caught off tempo and everything. That third round came back, but it was so much closer. That's what it's felt like every single round. Whenever Academy is winning these rounds, it's close. But whenever the Fire Ants have these wins, it's dominant. And that worries me coming into this fourth map because, as we mentioned, Berlin Hardpoint, we've got this team that's great at multi-killing, that's great at finding sort of aggressive, these chaotic fights and really take that to their advantage versus a team that wants to play a little bit more tactically. Hardpoint's not a tactical game. Well, let's keep it a slice here. It's going to be an absolute mess for the next 5-6 minutes on that one. So very curious to see how this will turn out for Saints Academy. If they can hold the line and sort of push back against our expectations as well.
Yeah, the question is, it's all going to come down to, can the Saints take those mid-rounds adjustments, take those team-wide adjustments that they just made in those last 2 rounds of Control to really keep it so much closer and convert that into this next hard point here. And we will see on map 4, match point, Berlin in just a few minutes here. Back to the faded destination here in Vanguard. KMC is just out shooting them. And we are back here on wide there on Uper. At least we're not seeing Tuscan search for the first
perfect grenade. Wow,
starting off
2 grenades.
There it is, the Fire Ants finding 3, and
as
we talked about just before the break,
that's gonna hurt your
Control, it's going to go to the team that finds the most multi-kills. You're already seeing a 6-life lead here for the Fire Ants. Just
gonna find the kill on KMC. Now Sway gonna trade out Griff there. So now down to 2. Audi gonna swing. Great job to find. That might end up being critical for the Saints there, but KMC gonna follow, find that AR kill, gonna push up to the point now. They're gonna get some pressure. Only 1.3 seconds. The Saints cannot afford to get knocked off this point. They're gonna find a couple frags. Great job by Sway to adjust. The Saints, they should be able to actually take this point. I think left alive and to contest.
Personally, I don't mind them getting very aggressive and being confident in these gunfights because it's do or die now. Pull out that pistol and make it work. But KMC, I don't know if you saw that, but I believe it was jump to KMC there. Yeah, they just absolutely walked by each other earlier, and neither of them saw. That's got to be an FOV gap. I don't know what that is, though. Now 3 players left from the Saints, only 2 after that kill, and you've only got 1 kill left. Koala, and you make the 1v4 happen. Is going to be top. Not going to slow anyone, however.
Wow, it's going to be really difficult. I mean,
with an absolutely
good effort.
Spray down on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 headshots. They're not going to land, and there goes the aggression from KMC. Finding the first one.
He's going to find
barely missing jumps there, but
only 1 more to creep up on, and it's Tope with 30 HP.
As much resistance as possible.
Trying to find it. Right through the wall here. Sheriff is in hand, and there's a second ace for the
a whole lot of time left. Like the control is going to go over to St. Clair.
The timer just already just starting on. Oh yeah, welcome back to the stream. By the way,
down to the wire. No lives left.
Of course, this is
it all comes down to this. Only 3 players.
It's not going to be too further ahead. This is starting to come down to the wire. It's already resting.
Yeah, grenade from Reno, not going to be good for the kill, and actually your life for it as KMC finds that kill. It's going to shut down Koala while they try to run off the site there. Only 5 lives left here from the Saints. Last one going to be found. Audi down and dirty here on site. She's able to find 2. It's going to be taken down. 3 seconds left. Saints, you gotta rush in. Wow, this is the play. Back to the faded destination here in Vanguard. Tuscan, and there's one. Second one not going to be found. At least we're not seeing Tuscan search here, and starting off, you didn't. There it is, the Fire Ants finding 3, and Spoon talking about just before the break. Control, it's going to go to the team that finds the most multi-kills. You're already seeing a 6-life lead here for the Fire Ants. Just, is that one going to weave it in? Through the Saints. But now here in game 2, we're seeing a clean 3-0 here coming into the end of the game. Last 15 seconds going to come in. Quinn trying to find one. Cats in there. Just barely taps it off.
This is very much, they have all the time in the world to get it back. Spoon trying to get it done by himself. Quick's going to be there for the follow.
Rare and KMC, the only 2 left alive. And personally, I don't mind them getting very aggressive and being confident in these gunfights because it's do or die now. Pull out that pistol and make it work. But KMC trying to get another one of those nose. I don't know if you saw that, but I believe it was jump to KMC there. Yeah, they just absolutely walked by each other earlier, and neither of them saw. That's got to be an FOV gap. I don't know what that is, but now 3 players left from the Saints, only 2 after that kill, and we've only got 1 tick left. Koala, can you make the 1v4 happen?
Maybe tied up a little bit. Great job to get by the defender. Going to set up Quinn. Great job is going to get them with there as Quinn. Now come on. Find the second touch. Only get the angle.
Not going to land, and there goes the aggression for KMC finding the first one. just barely misses jumps there, but
gonna see Quint and Spoon's gonna.
You can see
So he's more than happy to
as
keep
much
contesting
resistance as
rocket.
possible.
Pushed very, very far here. Gonna try to find something. He's gonna find one. 2 on the spray.
Gonna
Gonna find a third. Gonna find a one. Can he find the 5th? 1 more to play. Got the pistol and an ace right up on the start of the round. Rushes
down
up
to the wire.
all
No
5
lives
off,
left.
and the Saints are gonna take
All comes down to this.
out or
Three
given
players
any
in the
info
trade,
on
just
their
pushing
position.
fire ends further ahead.
Looks like they're setting up for this being
Yeah,
a
grenade
there.
for
Reno
already
not going to be
things
good
coming
for
out
the
from the
kill, and
Saints.
actually
Yeah, setup it
gonna
was.
take
They're gonna
your
find a
light
third.
for
There are
it.
multiple members
KMC
getting involved.
finds
Rocket,
that
he
kill.
can take it out there.
It's gonna
So
shut down
now we're
Koala
down
while
to
they
the
try to run
4v2.
off the
Get
site there.
RG whipping Domingo.
Only 5.
Welcome back, everyone. Match point for the University of South Carolina Smutters Fire ends here. St. Clair College Academy up against the wall here. Map 4 here, Berlin Hardpoint. Not a map that we've seen too often on theme per se, but very curious to see how they play this one out already. Saints are getting a lot more comfortable on this map, taking control of this hardpoint early.
Yeah, definitely not the same thing we've seen already. 20 points now almost on the board. Contestation going to come in from Reno. Not able to spray down KMC there, but even with that great start, KMC able to grab some points. 14 seconds there on the points on the board for objective time coming out from Koala, but the multi-kills still going the way of the Fire Ants.
Yeah, you can see just every single time these Fire Ants are continuously able to get the kill lead, and I think that's going to be expected throughout. We just need to see if St. Clair can find some level of tactical advantage, and I think especially off the bat, just getting 20 points on a hard point without any sort of contestation coming through, that shows that there is a little bit more tactic to this game mode than maybe we were expecting out of them. Of course, it still comes down to who spends more time on the point. It still comes down to who can get more kills at the end of it, because you can't hold a point if you're not alive.
Yeah, that's very true. Very great point there, Adam. Jumps, gonna find the kill onto KMC, traded back by Sway. Sway actually subbed in for this game to, see if they can, pick up some of the slack from the rest of this team here on these respawn modes, because really just something had to give, and right now Sway 5-1. Gonna lose that gunfight to Reno though. AR wins out in the end.
You can see Sway already sort of performing to the level that we would want to see at a Sway as well. You're coming in off the bench, sort of seeing what this team can do for 3 games, and you say, hey, these are some of the adjustments that we can go through as Jumps gets jumped in front of, quite literally. So instead of, Jumps having the jumps, it was the opposite way around. Haha, funny joke.
There's no way it wasn't aim assist that found Jumps that kill. I refuse to believe that was reaction, but either way, great job there from Jumps to be able to almost convert that into a double, and now you're converting it to time for your team on the hard point. But Koala has something to say about that. Tosses a nade in there, finds the second kill as well, starts contention. Ooh. Shark gonna fall to Sway, and with Sway finding a double there, no contention coming out. Reno, though, just absolutely bloodbath on this hard point here. Back and forth, but this time, on the flip side from that first game, it's actually going to be the Saints who are coming out with the lead after now 3 hard points about to make it 4.
Yeah, and this is a substantial lead. This is a lead that we didn't see them come through with, or either team come through with on that first hard point until, I think, point 9, point 10, point 11 around there. So, I mean, the Fire Ants really struggling to get the tempo of what K and Sway are able to come through with here. Both of them already hitting double-digit kills here. Jumps having a tough time staying alive even at that, and now with this point in train yard here, finally we see USCS try and put up a little bit more resistance, but already we're going to see Academy hop over that 100-point barrier here extremely early on. This is a really good look coming through from them. It feels like they've got this momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, and you'd love to see when a roster change sub in like that works out so well immediately. It just shows the depth to this roster, and really the difference in Call of Duty in that you're subbing people in for game modes. I love it. It just makes everyone shine in their own respective lights. And now, even after all these kills back and forth, it's going to be now an 80-plus point lead here for Saints Academy.
It looks night and day compared to what we saw in even the first 2-3 maps that we've seen out of these 2 teams. It feels like Fire Ants have just sort of been stumped here, now cresting an 100-point advantage. Seems like Sway and K are around every single corner, just fragging out consistently. Koala's just camping on these points every single time. Look at that objective time already. You've got 75 points, more than half the points here for the side of St. Clair Academy, and now Finally, Fire Ants are able to get a couple of kills together, get back onto this hard point, but even then, it's going to be a tough uphill road for them, being down this many points. Now, we can get back to this point that we talked about on the first hard point. More of attrition. Sequoia just drops 2-3 in a row there. My goodness.
Wow, and that is going to be the point back into the hands of the Saints. You just see now the kill feed just going in the way of the Saints. You see now 3 members on Saints Academy here, super positive here, 5-6 kills positive, if not more. Meanwhile, just seeing negatives over there from the side of the Fire Ants, and that's really just showing the trend of this game, and the scoreboard reflects it there. Now a 100-point lead for the Saints. Fire Ants grabbing some scraps here in the last few seconds, and it's going to be a brawl on this next hard point. The Fire Ants had the numbers to get it set up, but Sway comes in with a multi-kill, finds the third, absolutely shredding through South Carolina there to be able to grab control of this hard point.
Yeah, some people call it swinging. Sway calls it swaying because they're just sliding around those corners, finding everything possible for themselves. Cresting a 100-point advantage. Now they're just fragging out at this point. My goodness, killing spree coming through. That's 6 kills, or almost 6 kills coming through from Sway as they get shut down finally. But at the same time, this lead is starting to become insurmountable. More of attrition. It's going to be down to these last couple of points where as long as Saints are getting, 5-10 points more than their opponents, they're going to be able to come away with it. But even then, look at the score, not even hitting 100 points for the side of the Fire Ants here. They've just been stumped, and this roster substitution, as you mentioned, just shows the power of this Academy squad. Able to switch in a player on a moment's notice and say, hey, we're just going to take the map off of that as they're starting to get 150-point advantages here.
Yeah, I don't want to say the game's over, but man, is this Saints Academy roster looking solid in this game. Like, where was this in game 1? Apparently all in Sway's hand, because Sway coming in here dropping 23 kills in the hardpoint game and turning the tides on so many of these hardpoints with, 1v3 multi-kills and just absolutely cleaning house. And even Steven here, nobody having control of the hardpoint currently, but Saints are going to take it. Now, this is do or die for you. This is really the last hard point here for the Fire Ants where they can, keep themselves in the game, and you can't be giving some of these points over to the Saints.
And I think if we look at this, the scoreboard as well, it's just sort of anything you can do, I can do better between Sway and K. They're just going back and forth to see who can have the most kills after this one. 230 points for Saints Academy here. Yet to crest 100 still is the side of USCS, and Koala just resorting to camping corners at this point. You've got to try and find any points possible, but as we said, down to this last point, you need a third of it. You need a third of the time on this point to be able to secure the game for yourself. Koala, first on the scene, going to find a couple there. Here come the bombs as well. The aerial strikes coming through just to try and secure this one up. 12 points needed for the side of Saints Academy. They should be able to comfortably take this one. And my goodness, what a changeup coming through. Sway comes in off the bench, 29 kills, and with 5 points remaining, yeah, it's basically over. Let's be real.
Yeah, at this point, it is definitely going to go to the way of the Saints. Even with, trash time, the scraps from a hard point, here it is. And, you might call it camping on point. I call it being the anchor for your team. Koala, 2 minutes and 23 seconds there on the hard point, as that is going to be the final point coming down for Saints Academy once again here on stream. Apparently, I am just the caster curse of all time, because every time I cast COD, we're going to game 5.
I mean, it gets more exciting as we go along, as we can see Sway just showing what they can do out of the bench. 30 kills for themselves here. No rust, no sort of a, hey, I just got to get warmed up a little bit. They're just, let's go. Let's win this map and push this to map 5. And a really sort of magical effort coming through. This was a team that struggled on hardpoint. It wasn't necessarily a blowout in map 1 on Bocage, but here on Berlin, just 150 point, 170 point win there. Just absolutely crazy coming through from the side of Saints Academy. And now we're on to map 5. This is, do or die at this point. And S&D on the Tuscan. That one's going to be fun. That one's going to be interesting because we saw what Saints were able to do the first time around.
Yeah, we see that Saints can take a lead in S&D, and we've also seen that the Fire Ants can definitely give it right back to them. So I'm expecting a tight game 5, as this is Tuscan S&D, probably one of the game modes that both of these teams have played the most out of anything. I mean, we see it so often in these series, and coming into this, it is, you know, this is it. This is which team is going to stay undefeated here in NJC, and it is going to be down to the wire here in Map 5.
Yeah, it's whichever team has that dog in them, sort of, at the end of it, to sort of push through and get themselves that victory. Of course, at the end of the day, you can drop as many maps as you want, so long as you don't drop 3. So you can drop 1 or 2. Yeah, that's okay. But the third one, you know, you can't do it at that. And this is a situation that the Fire Ants haven't been in. We'll find out if Fire Ants are going to continue their undefeated streak or if the Saints are going to play a little bit of spoiler there for their potentially perfect season. We're going to head to a break when we're back. Map 5, Tuscan, S&D. Pushing Fire Ants further ahead, and this is starting to come down to the wire once again.
Yeah, a grenade from Reno, not going to be good for the kill, and actually going to take your life for it as KMC finds that kill. Jump's going to shut down Koala while they try to run onto site there. Only 5 lives left here from the Saints. Last one going to be found. Audi getting down and dirty here on site. She's able to find 2, but going to be taken down. 3 seconds left. Saints, you've got to rush in. But that is that first game. It's actually going to be the Saints who are coming out with the lead after now 3 hard points about to make it 4.
Yeah, and this is a substantial lead. This is a lead that we didn't see them come through with, or either team come through with on that first hard point until, I think, point 9, point 10, point 11 around there. So
lead for the Saints. Fire Ants grabbing some scraps here in the last few seconds, and it's going to be a brawl on this next hard point. Fire Ants had the numbers to get it set up, but Sway comes in with a multi-kill, finds the 3rd absolute
Academy squad, able to switch in a player on a moment's notice and say, hey, we're just going to take the map off of that as they're starting to get 150-point advantages here.
Yeah, I don't want to say the game's over, but man, is this Saints Academy roster looking solid in this game. Like, where was this in game 1? Apparently all in Sway's hand, because Sway coming in here dropping 23 kills in the hardpoint game and turning the tides on so many of these hardpoints with, you know, 1v3 multi-kills.
Time to the trade. They're just pushing Fire Ants further ahead, and this is starting to come down to the wire once again.
Yeah, a grenade from Reno, not going to be good for the kill, and actually going to take your life for it as KMC finds that kill. Jump's going to shut down Koala while they try to run onto site there. Only 5 lives left here from the Saints. Last one going to be found. Audi getting down and dirty here on site. She's able to find 2, but going to be taken down. 3 seconds left. Saints, you've got to rush in. But that is that first game. It's actually going to be the Saints who are coming out with the lead after now 3 hard points about to make it 4.
Yeah, and this is a substantial lead. This is a lead that we didn't see them come through with, or either team come through.
Coming into S&D here, this is do or die for both of these teams. St. Clair College, South Carolina, Fire Ants, Koala gonna find first blood first round.
Yeah, just getting right into the action here. Rare gonna find another one for themselves here, and my goodness, already starting to show a little bit more aggression coming through. I like this new look from Academy. You pull in Sway for game 4 and game 5 here, it seems, and all of a sudden you can see just a little bit more of a spark plug. Granted, Sway and K are the 2 did not find a kill quite yet, as oh my goodness, it's Shark just camping, sharking in the building there, finding the kill.
Yeah, coming out of the deep there to hunt their prey, and Shark finds the first kill for USC there. And, you know, time is ticking down. Saints, you're on the attacking side, but Shark getting a little too antsy running around the corner, finding and paying for it with their life. Now it's Whoop. Oh, you spot out Rare. Ooh, just the back there, Rare. Not ready for it, but Koala on the trade. There's the team play coming through. That's what we saw last time in Search, and it's good to see that it is already coming back in this map, even after a control game and a hardpoint game.
Yeah, and you can see Koala just doing really, really well to find 3 in that round, you know, just trying to get as much momentum as possible. That is what is of the utmost importance, it feels, for both of these sides. Of course, that was an attacking win for the side of St. Clair. So already off to the races, they planted the bomb so quickly, put them on the defensive incredibly quick, and now on this defense, we'll see if they can recreate that. Of course, Koala already sort of carrying the brunt of this load. We'll see what happens next, as, you know, for USCS, they've got to put together some sort of coordinated effort. Sway already getting first blood. My goodness, they've already found 2.
Sway not even gonna fall off of a little bit of a movement error there. You didn't know anyone was in that window, but great
way to just absolutely get yourself out of danger, get around the corner, and now Sway's ready to get back into the fight, taking the last kill. That's 2-0.
Yeah, really scrappy coming through from St. Clair in the first 2 rounds here. And of note, really quick rounds, over in, 30, 40 seconds. That's the main thing. Shark just trying to camp around, try and stay under the water, but unfortunately will still go down a Sway. And of course, this is shocking differences. I mean, we look at game 1, 2, 3, how much they struggled to push through them. Really struggled to even get to that game 4 situation. Now just switching it on its head in Academy, looking really, really strong against USCS, who might have a little bit of tilt factor coming in at this point, because it's been a complete turnaround from what we've expected.
Yeah, and bringing back to that tilt factor, that mental factor, you got to remember USC hadn't dropped a map until this series, and now backs against the wall. They're here down to the wire 2-2, especially after such dominant games as well. Koala finding that one with a grenade there, down to a 2-2. Whoop, finding themselves middle here in this church, whereas it's Shark over towards that B side. So actually going to be the Saints rotation. Are they going to take it all the way to that B site, or are they just going to clear out the rest of this and then do that default A plant that we see a lot of these teams do? They've got the time to work with. They've got the time to clear these angles and make the decision. Shark spotted out there by Rare, I believe it was. Oop, on the rotation. Now we're going to see a 2v2 come out here.
It's just so close every single time. You can see everyone's just trying to find the angle. Shark is trying to lurk around, look for a flank on someone, but still, the timer's going to start to come into play. Moving back towards that A site, as we said, you draw all of this attention over to B site. You say, hey, we might do something a little bit tricky, and then they say, nope, it's all a bait. We're going to go back to this A site and look for what we can, but of course, might have been sniffed out here. Oops, sees the barrel of that gun, not able to pick it up. It's so close.
Rare kill converted. Now it's up to Shark on this flank. Can you kill the planter before the bomb goes down? The bomb is down, and now it's a 1v1 post plant. Oh, the bomb did not go down.
Seems like it did, I think. It is planted with a fraction of a second. Shark gonna try and defuse this. Rare has to see this coming, is able to find that around the side, and backs up against the wall. St. Clair still able to find it with a sliver of a second on the plant and a sliver of a second left on that defuse as well.
Yeah, I thought it didn't go down there for a sec. I mean, second guessing myself, but there it is. The Saints keeping the undefeated streak in this search game alive. No, can they do the sweep? And they make it. I might have just cursed it by saying that,
but... Of course, yeah, we've cursed it. So, this round they're going to give up, but it's fine. 6-1's still good. 6-2's still good. All the scores are still good so long as Saints Academy ends up on top. But even then, it's been 2 attacker-sided wins here thus far, which is odd in any sort of S&D. It always feels like it's favored towards the defensive side.
Wow.
As I say that, there's 2 kills coming through for USCS, so maybe the Caster Curse is real.
Yeah, Caster Curse definitely real. I should just keep my mouth shut for the rest of this series, as I'm just ruining all the momentum here for the Saints. But USC taking so many early kills back for themselves, and now it's just Koala in the 1v4, AR in hand. Actually able to find both guns now, SMG and AR available. There's one great headshot. Now can you spot out Whoop? Whoop though behind that tree, not gonna be spotted out, and there it is. 3-1 here for South Carolina. I mean, we've seen them take 4 or 5 or 3 rounds in a row here on Search before, so can they do it on Tuscan?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it plays out, because we've just seen the first S&D be very defensive-sided. Now, 3 attacker wins in the first 4 rounds here. Very curious to see if that trend continues, or if it might get switched up once again. St. Clair, of course, really going to be looking to Koala to sort of step up in this one, because they've been really coming into their own. It feels like the first couple of maps were just warm-ups for them, and now starting to frag out a little bit more, get on the board a little bit more. It's, interestingly enough, Sway and K, who are just sort of doing their job, trying to bring up the rear a little bit here, and letting the other 2 players really take control, which is good to see. It's good to see that this team can be as well-rounded, but of course, 2v2 very early on into this round. Now it all comes down to the maneuvering. Fair spotted out by Reno there.
Yeah, but also has the info that Reno is going to be up on that staircase. KMC opting to take the gunfight for the team there. Rare finds the 1v1 of their own against Whoop. Now it's all up to KMC and Rare. Reno, last one left. You got to find yourself the 1v2. Takes down Rare. KMC He's been in these 1v1s many a time before and often so good at winning those gunfights, and there it is. That is going to be back to the 3-round lead for Saints Academy.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, you know, you're used to seeing Peaker's advantage come through in some of these games, but this case, it's sort of Peaker's disadvantage. You see that Reno just trying to force their way in, trying to find any sort of angle, trying to get behind K in that situation, but of course, K is just ready for it, just hanging out in that corner, knows that they've got that advantage. They can just hold the angle for as long as possible, picking up a couple of kills that round, and now 4-1 coming through for the side of St. Clair College. This has been a complete 180.
Yeah, absolute 180. Saints have just been so good at adjusting their play style here. You know, and part of it, definitely the sub-in helped, but I think also just a bit of a scenery change from Bocage as well, going to some other maps definitely brought them back into this here. And, you know, keeping the momentum alive. Now down to a 2v2. KMC, the wallbangs are not going to be good. Reno dangerously low, but should have the time to regen.
Just slowly but surely, we see the side of University of South Carolina Smutter just push forward where they can, but now just sort of camping out, trying to find any sort of advantages, because in these 2v2 situations, it's so hard to find any sort of tangible advantages at that. You can see sort of biding their time, hoping that there's no one camping these points. And interestingly enough, we look at the map, both of the Academy players moving over to this B site, maybe sniffing out something, but now that they know it isn't there, A plant going to come down, and that's going to mean timer is on for St. Clair to try and get these kills back in return and get this defuse down.
Yeah, 40 seconds now. 2v2 is where we have seen the Saints thrive here, is in a lot of these team play situations in this search and destroy. It's been a lot less of a one-player show. Rare dodging some bullets there, literally, as KMC gonna find the first kill, and Rare cleaning it up with the second. Defuse gonna come through. Series point for the Saints, clawing back in this series, in my opinion. I know it's been fairly even back and forth, but so many games they just seemed down and out, and now just coming back and being dominant here on Tuscan Search.
Yeah, ridiculous how close both of those gunfights were. I believe Rare survived that with 4 health. The other one, K, survived with about 34 health. So one more shot lands, and you know that could mean trouble, but at the same time, backs up against the wall. 5-1 for the side of Saints Academy here, and you know, be difficult for South Carolina to pull themselves back into this one. It's really been up to Whoop to try and find these sort of clutch kills at that, but you know, the attack has been almost flawless coming through from the side of St. Clair. I think that's something to note. They've been insane on this. As I say that, I cast the curse again. It just tends to happen.
Yeah, Sway with the trade back, and actually numbers advantage now for the Saints, but the bomb was dropped, but no one there from the Fire Ants really to be able to contest that pickup, and now should be a free plant at A here for the Saints, but they're just going to opt to wait it out a bit, see if they can maybe bait out some of these last 2 players. Whoop and Jumps not really having it, just seem pretty fine with playing around this map. Here it is, Jumps not able to find the planter though. Rare gets away just in time, and now it's a 2v3. You got to win here as the Fire Ants. Post plant as well, even down to a 2v2 by Jumps. Close fight there with Rare, not gonna fall. Koala finds the kill. Whoop brings it down to a 1v1. 26 seconds left to start defusing the bomb. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 7.5 seconds on that defuse. So you gotta make a play sometime. And look at Koala just rotating around the back here. Finds Whoop. There's the kill. Playing the time, peeking out just before that defuse has to come through, and there it is. St. Clair College absolutely flipping the script in this series here, staying undefeated. The Academy roster, you know, keeping their streak alive and winning it very handedly here in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. I think overall we look at this series and we say, you know, they had us in the first half, not gonna lie, but they turned it around with the substitution from Sway at the end of it. I mean, dropping a 30 bomb on that hard point on Berlin, and now just sort of getting this sort of shot calling back in order. I think that is what might have been the difference maker overall. A really, really good series from both of these teams. And for the Fire Ants, you know, keep your heads up high, because that was an incredibly close series. But of course, Saints Academy just a little bit of a step above here at the end of it. Just really, really, really well played from Sway, coming in off the bench especially.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it was really weird to see that last map because, you know, even the first two maps that the Saints won, right? We can agree, very close maps. I don't think there was a point, other than that second hard point as well, you know, it was closer than, you know, that last S&D game, but it was definitely nothing like that first hard point map we saw where it was just so down to the wire and back and forth, and really came down to just that mid-round adjustment and that depth of the Academy roster with Sway coming in there and just absolutely, you know, carrying really on that hard point game on Berlin.
Yeah, and really just being able to play it back in their favor, as we've said. Just it was a complete 180 from what we expected. I mean, you know, the first three maps incredibly close, I think, and really hard fought from the side of USCS. But at the end of it, you know, Saints Academy, they say, hey, Sway, come on in. Let's see what you can do. Drops the 30 bomb, as we said, and just able to turn that one around. But of course, we aren't done for tonight, Fundy. We've still got one more game to go. It will be Valorant, so another tactical shooter. Always fun to see, you know, the double FPS double headers. I think that's the main thing, because we could just keep some of the ideas and be like, hey, that works in Valorant as well. We can sort of turn it around. Of course, we will be going up against the University of Southern New Hampshire University. Sorry, I got the order wrong. It'll be in about 30 to 40 minutes, so bear with us there. We'll bring you the action right after this break. Pushing Fire Ants further ahead, and this is starting to come down to the wire once again.
Yeah, a grenade from Reno, not going to be good for the kill, and actually going to take your life for it as KMC finds that kill. Jump's going to shut down Koala while they try to run onto site there.
And the building there, finding the kill.
Yeah, coming out of the deep there to hunt their prey, and Shark finds the first kill for USC there. And, you know, time is ticking down. Saints, you're on the attacking side, but Shark getting a little too antsy, running around the corner, finding and paying for it with their life. Now it's Whoop. Oh, you spot out Rare. Ooh, just the back there, Rare, not ready for
this defense. We'll see if they can recreate that. Of course, Koala already sort of carrying the brunt of this load. We'll see what happens next as, you know, for USCS, they've got to put together some sort of coordinated effort. Sway already good at Chris, but my goodness, they've already found two.
Sway not even gonna fall off of a little bit of a movement error there. You didn't know anyone was in that window, but
great way to just absolutely get yourself out of danger, get around the corner, and now Sway's ready to get.
We're going to go back to this A site and look for what we can, but of course, might have been sniffed out here. Oops, sees the barrel of that gun, not able to pick it up. It's so close.
Rare kill converted. Now it's up to Shark on this flank. Can you kill the planter before the bomb goes down? The bomb is down, and now it's a 1v1 post plant. Oh, the bomb did not go down.
Seems like it did, I think. It is planted with a fraction of a second. Shark gonna try and defuse this. Rare has to see this coming.
Yeah, Caster Curse definitely real. I should just keep my mouth shut for the rest of this series, as I'm just ruining all the momentum here for the Saints. But USC taking so many early kills back for themselves, and now it's just Koala in the 1v4, AR in hand. Actually able to find both guns now, SMG and AR available. There's one great headshot. Now can you spot out Whoop? Whoop though behind
into this round. Now it all comes down to the maneuvering. Fair spotted out by Reno there.
Yeah, but also has the info that Reno is going to be up on that staircase. KMC opting to take the gunfight for the team there. Rare finds the 1v1 of their own against Whoop. Now it's all up to KMC and Rare. Reno, last one left. You got to find yourself the 1v2. Takes down Rare. KMC, he's been in these 1v1s many a time before, and often
is on to Saints there to try and get these kills back in return and get this defuse down.
Yeah, 40 seconds now. 2v2 is where we have seen the Saints thrive here, is in a lot of these team play situations in this search and destroy. It's been a lot less of a one-player show. Rare dodging some bullets there, literally, as KMC gonna find the first kill, and Rare cleaning it up with the second. Defuse gonna come, and then
the building there, finding the kill.
Yeah, coming out of the deep there to hunt their prey, and Shark finds the first kill for USC there. And, you know, time is ticking down. Saints, you're on the attacking side, but Shark getting a little too antsy, running around the corner, finding and paying for it with their life. Now it's Whoop Oh, you spot out Rare. Just the back there, Rare. Not ready for
this defense. We'll see if they can recreate that. Of course, Koala already sort of carrying the brunt of this load. We'll see what happens next as, you know, for USCS, they've got to put together some sort of coordinated effort. Sway already getting crisp, but my goodness, they've already found two.
Sway not even going to fall off of a little bit of a movement error there. You didn't know anyone was in that window, but great way to just absolutely get yourself out of danger, get around the corner, and now Sway's ready to get.
We're going to go back to this A site and look for what we can, but of course, might have been sniffed out here. Oops, sees the barrel of that gun, not able to pick it up. It's so close.
Rare kill converted. Now it's up to Shark on this flank. Can you kill the planter before the bomb goes down? The bomb is down, and now it's a 1v1 post-plant. Oh, the bomb did not go down.
Seems like it did, I think. It is planted with a fraction of a second. Shark gonna try and defuse this. Rare has to see this coming.
Yeah, Caster Curse definitely real. I should just keep my mouth shut.
Ember's getting involved. Rocket gonna get taken out there, so now we're down to the 4v2. We got RD whipping Domingo, trying to make some kind of play here. Smoke is gonna go through. I believe Amali's gonna go through as well. Mig once again gonna find that pick, and now all on Domingo with this off, so he is gonna get shut down right away by
the only person to stop anything getting ready from the Saints, but they're just shift walking it all the way towards
Hearing Lemur in the back of JBH. Rocket, you're here to shoot these out, and you find
it's really gonna not allow Wayland to get out of the spawn for a little bit.
Yeah, and using that slow can actually set up your Widowmaker pretty nicely, because if Emran already has pretty nasty aim, a character moving at half speed is going to be pretty freeload for him to get those picks, and we've seen they're finding those early picks on the DPS every single time. Crime going to find that kill onto Waifu there, and now Squeak, once again, just W-keying with this Reinhardt, taking out everybody left and right, swinging through left and right. Going to find 3 kills there, and the Saints on an absolute tear right now. Now up to Sepias and supports, both find picks consistently. Definitely a very good sign for them, so they're going to love this start, and they're going to watch these plays back and be in love with it.
Yeah, and seeing that Baptiste at the end,
he feels comfortable in any single role, and the Saints are going to use it, and the Saints are absolutely slaughtering Wayland to start things off.
Yeah, with a Symmetra choice on the side of the Saints, which we haven't seen that shown.
The sim, you know, it's just like focus sim turret, that's all the comms are, so
yeah,
you understand how frustrating it is to play against, and especially on a start like this, you just get that free turret damage or the free laser damage right off the door, and then you basically just play back to your backline, and their backline has been flawless so far, just about.
Especially with a mini rework to Symmetra on her teleporter.
Yep.
I used to be a Symmetra main, actually, so I was honestly, whoa.
Saints are just, this is Crime. The cart hasn't even been touched yet. Crime finding every headshot right now. Going to be a little Widow on Widow Crime, so to speak there, and he cannot be stopped right now in this backline. And Wayland, I'm not sure exactly what you try to swap through or what play you try to make, but you got to dig deep in the bag for something here, because they haven't found a single thing so far. And look at the Symmetra damage just burning through the side of Wayland. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and like you said, there's with no second tank.
These headshots, Emran is going to find the first pick, but that Moira Orb going to come back to get him, so nice little 1-for-1 trade. We're going to see Silver on the Orisa now, so I think a much better frontlining tank pick. You get the deflect. The rework for Orisa made Orisa one of the strongest tanks in the entire game. You get the fortify with the gold armor, you get the deflect. The ultimate has much more value than it did before as far as like team fighting and everything. Heisenberg can end up off the map there, I believe, probably at Lucio's hands, and the Saints, they're going to wipe this one out. Red X is going to find 3 on the triple, and the Saints, just like that, they're going to clean that one.
Getting 1 or 2 seconds on the site before somebody's coming to contest it, and with that, they found themselves a nice 20-point lead here, as the Saints are going to start swarming this hard point, but now the Samsons got full control. Saints are going to have to respawn and set up another push. Not if KMC is just out shooting them. Headshots go a little wide there on Uper. Now KMC can force a regen.
Perfect grenade. Wow, absolute. 2 grenades, actually, both of them. Rare can find like 1 or 2 frags, and that's going to hurt you really pretty bad. Their smoke show is going to be the one to fall as well. So now all on Uper, Griff and Guard Dog trying to hold off Griff. Going to find the kill on KMC. Now Sway going to trade out Griff there. So now down to 2. Audi going to swing. Great job to find. That might end up being critical for the Saints there, but KMC gonna follow, find that AR kill, gonna push up to the point now. They're gonna get some pressure. Only 1.3 seconds. The Saints cannot afford to get knocked off this point. They're gonna find a couple frags. Great job by Sway to adjust. The Saints, they should be able to actually take this B point. I think Samsons are too far off to contest, and the frags are gonna come through, and the Saints, they are going to walk away. They are gonna get the capture, and they're gonna win Gava 2 second time around.
Wow, they find...
Honestly, even if you give away your spot, you're gonna have time to reposition. Audi gonna whiff the first shot. We'll find the kill. Wow, movement galore. Gonna
think just about every angle being held here. Havex not looking though. Kayu's now in behind. Gets one on Havex, the second. Smoothies with a kill at the exact same time on Earthquake. Trademark is going to be popped. Not going to slow anyone, however, as wow. Down Kayu with an absolute spray down on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 headshots.
Moody's to take down to 1. If the Saints can maybe try to make a play. Kayu finding his 3rd. He's going to find 4. Can he find the ace? Only 1 more to creep up on, and it's Taupe with 30 HP. Kayu trying to find it. Going to spray through the wall here. Sheriff is in hand, and there's a second ace for the
site there. It looks like the control is going to go over to St. Clair.
Yeah, already just starting off, yeah, welcome back to the stream, by the way, just getting right into the action here. Of course, this is a map that we've seen St. Clair do really well on hardpoint specifically, so not going to be too surprised with anything that comes through from them. Of course, already wresting control of this game, only 1 kill, 2 kills now going over to the side of Northeastern, but already you can see the dominance this team is ready to pop down. As you can see, half of this game they've been on this hardpoint, absolutely demolishing everything that Northeastern are able to pull through for themselves. Grizzly once again back on this point. Actually, they will finally get to double digits. I was worried for a little bit for Northeastern there, but yeah, this is really difficult.
That was quick. Oh wow, this is the play. You gotta watch. Look at him live. Saints in this defending round. Bendy, how many can he find here? There's one. Second one not gonna be found.
South Carolina, it's been a lot slower offensively for Carolina this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you didn't get that momentum off of that initial play there, and Spoot.
The passing play up here. Spoots throws possession. Gonna wall ride for a bit and get that second touch as well. So Spoots, great job of playing keep away in South Carolina's end so far.
Oh, is that one gonna weave it in? Weird. Now here in game 2, we're seeing a clean 3-0 here coming into the end of the game. Last 15 seconds gonna come in. Quint trying to find one. Cats just barely taps it off.
This is very much, they have all the time in the world to get it back. Spoots trying to get it done by himself. Now Quint's going to be there for the follow. Not able to find that second touch. Kamal is going to be there for the follow. And bang, home. The Saints are pretty heavily committing up on this mid line too, and I think that might start to be a slight issue if they get the Fed properly.
Yeah, Spoots trying to get another one of those nose dribbles and
handoff.
Yeah.
Misfire, 2 members eyeing down the ball. Neither going to chase it. That will leave you in a world of hurt, especially if it's in the crease. South Carolina, once again, just maximizing the chances. They see a window, they're taking it. They're opening the window, running right through it, jumping in, and the Saints trying to get back in the score sheet here. They're trying to get a couple shots back-to-back. Spoods and Quint, maybe tied up a little bit. Spoods, great job to get by the defender, going to set up Quint. Oh, wow, great job is going to get demoed there as Quint. And now Kamal trying to find the second touch, really get the angle, not going to quite get the angle on Og there. And now back into the corner once more. Spoods get the reset, try to find something over the middle, gonna see Quint, and Spood's gonna putting engagement, so he's more than happy to keep contesting. Rocket pushed up very, very far here, gonna try to find something, is gonna find 1, 2 on the spray, gonna find the 3rd, gonna find the 4th, can he find the 5th? 1 more to play, got the pistol, and an ace right up on the start of the round, rushes up, drops all 5 off, and the Saints are gonna take.
Have been really spotted out or given any info on their position, so looks like they're setting up for this B hit, and there already 2 picks coming out from the Saints.
Yeah, a setup it was. They're going to find a 3rd there. Multiple members getting involved. Rocket going to get taken out there, so now we're down to the 4v2. We got RD whipping Domingo, trying to make some kind of play here. Smoke is going to go through. I believe Amali's going to go through as well. Mig once again going to find that pick, and now all on Domingo with this off, so he is going to get shut down right away by
the only person to stop anything getting ready from the Saints, but they're just shift walking it all the way towards. Oh, hearing Lieber in the back of JBH. Rocket, you're here to shoot these out, and you find.
It's really going to not allow Wayland to get out of the spawn for a little bit.
Yeah, and using that slow can actually set up your Widowmaker pretty nicely, because if Emran already has pretty nasty aim, a character moving at half speed is going to be pretty freeload for him to get those picks, and we've seen they're finding those early picks on the DPS every single time. Crime going to find that kill onto Waifu there, and now Squeak Once again, just W-keying with this. Reinhardt taking out everybody left and right, swinging through left and right. Gonna find 3 kills there, and the Saints on an absolute tear right now. Now the Sepias and supports both find picks consistently. Definitely a very good sign for them. So they're gonna love this start, and they're gonna watch these plays back and be in love with it.
Yeah, and seeing that Baptiste at the end,
he feels comfortable in any single role, and the Saints are going to use it, and the Saints are absolutely slaughtering Wayland to start things off.
yeah, with a Symmetra choice on side of the Saints, which we haven't seen that shown.
In the sim, you know, it's just like focus sim turret, that's all the comms are, so
yeah.
You understand how frustrating it is to play against, especially on a start like this. You just get that free turret damage or the free laser damage right off the door, and then you basically just play back to your backline, and their backline has been flawless so far, just about.
Especially with a mini rework to Symmetra on her teleporter.
Yeah.
I used to be a Symmetra main, actually, so I was honestly, whoa.
Saints are just, this is Crime. Cart hasn't even been touched yet. Crime finding every headshot right now. Going to be a little widow on widow Crime, so to speak there, and he cannot be stopped right now in this backline. And Wayland, I'm not sure exactly what you try to swap through or what play you try to make, but you got to dig deep in the bag for something here because they haven't found a single thing so far. And look at the Symmetra damage just burning through the side of Wayland. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and like you said, there's with no second tank.
These headshots, Emmerich is going to find the first pick, but that Moira Orb going to come back to get him. So nice sort of 1-for-1 trade. We're going to see Silver on the Orisa now. So I think a much better frontlining tank pick. You get the deflect. The rework for Orisa made Orisa one of the strongest tanks in the entire game. You get the fortify with the gold armor. You get the deflect. Yeah. The ultimate has much more value than it did before as far as like team fighting and everything. Heisenberg can end up off the map there, I believe, probably at Lucio's hands and the Saints. They're going to wipe this one out. Red X is going to find 3 on the triple, and the Saints, just like that, they're going to clean that one.
Getting 1 or 2 seconds on the site before somebody's coming to contest it. And with that, they found themselves a nice 20-point lead here as the Saints are going to start swarming this hard point. But now the Samsons got full control. Saints are going to have to respawn and set up another push. Not if KMC is just out shooting them. Headshots go a little wide there on Uper. Now KMC forced to rejet.
Perfect grenade. Wow. Absolute. 2 grenades, actually both of them.
Rare hit.
Systems can find like 1 or 2 frags, and that's going to hurt you really pretty bad. Their smoke show is going to be the one to fall as well. So now all on Uper, Griff, and Guard Dog trying to hold off Griff. Going to find the kill on KMC. Now Sway going to trade out Griff there. So now down to 2. Audi going to swing. Great job to find. That might end up being critical for the Saints there, but KMC going to follow, find that AR kill, going to push up to the point now. They're going to get some pressure. Only 1.3 seconds. The Saints cannot afford to get knocked off this point. They're going to find a couple frags. Great job by Sway to adjust. The Saints, they should be able to actually take this B point. I think the Samsons are too far off to contest, and the frags are going to come through, and the Saints, they are going to walk away. They are going to get the capture, and they're going to win Gava 2 second time around.
Wow, they find...
Honestly, even if you give away your spot, you're going to have time to reposition. Audi going to whiff the first shot. We'll find the kill. Wow, movement galore. Going to
think just about every angle being held here. Avex not looking, though. Kayu's now in behind. Gets 1 on Havex, the second. Smoothies with a kill at the exact same time on Earthway. Trademark is going to be popped. Not going to slow anyone, however, as taking down Kayu with an absolute spray down on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 headshots.
Moody's can way down to 1 if the Saints can maybe try to make a play. Kayu finding his 3rd. He's going to find 4. Can he find the ace? Only 1 more to creep up on, and it's Taupe with 30 HP. Caillou trying to find it. Going to spray through the wall here. Sheriff is in hand, and there's a second ace for the
site there. It looks like the control is going to go over to St. Clair.
Yeah, already just starting off. Yeah, welcome back to the stream, by the way. Just getting right into the action here. Of course, this is a map that we've seen St. Clair do really well on hardpoint specifically, so not going to be too surprised with anything that comes through from them. Of course, already wresting control of this game, and only 1 kill, 2 kills now going over to the side of Northeastern, but already you can see the dominance this team is ready to pop down. As you can see, half of this game they've been on this hardpoint, absolutely demolishing everything that Northeastern are able to pull through for themselves. Grizzly once again back on this point. Actually, they will finally get to double digits. I was worried for a little bit for Northeastern there, but yeah, this is really difficult.
That was quick. Oh wow, this is the play. You gotta watch. Look at him. Saints in this defending round. Bendy, how many can he find here? There's 1. Second one not going to be found.
South Carolina, it's been a lot slower offensively for Carolina this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you didn't get that momentum off of that initial play there, and Spood.
A passing play up here. Spood slows possession. Gonna wall ride for a bit and get that second touch as well. So Spood's great job of playing keep away in South Carolina's end so far.
Oh, is that one gonna weave it in? Where?
Now here in game 2, we're seeing a clean 3-0 here coming into the end of the game. Last 15 seconds gonna come in. Quint trying to find one. Cats just barely taps it off.
This is very much, they have all the time in the world to get it back. Spoods trying to get it done by himself. Now Quint's going to be there for the follow. Not able to find that second touch. Kamal is going to be there for the follow. And bang, home. The Saints are like pretty heavily committing up on this midline too, and I think that might start to be a slight issue if they can't defend properly.
Yeah, Spoods trying to get another one of those nose dribbles and
handoff.
Yeah.
Misfire, 2 members eyeing down the ball. Neither going to chase it. That will leave you in a world of hurt, especially if it's in the crease. South Carolina, once again, just maximizing the chances. They see a window, they're taking it. They're opening the window, running right through it, jumping in, and the Saints trying to get back in the score sheet here. They're trying to get a couple shots back-to-back. Spoods and Quint, maybe tied up a little bit. Spoods, great job to get by the defender, going to set up Quint. Oh, well, great job is going to get demoed there as Quint, and now Kamal trying to find the second touch. Will he get the angle? Not going to quite get the angle on Og there. And now back into the corner once more. Spoods going to get the reset. Try to find something over the middle. Going to see Quint. And Spoods going to putting engagement. So he's more than happy to keep contesting. Rocket pushed up very, very far here. Going to try to find something. Is going to find one. 2 on the spray. Going to find the third. Going to find the fourth. Can he find the fifth? Ace. 1 more to play. Got the pistol. And an ace right up on the start of the round. Rushes up. Drops all 5 off. And the Saints are going to take.
Have been really spotted out or given any info on their position. So looks like they're setting up for this B hit. And they're already 2 picks coming out from the Saints.
Yeah, a setup it was. They're going to find a third there. Multiple members getting involved. Rocket going to get taken out there. So now we're down to the 4v2. We got RD whipping Domingo. Trying to make some kind of play here. Smoke is going to go through. I believe Molly's going to go through as well. Mig once again going to find that pick. And now all on Domingo with this off. So he is going to get shut down right away by
the only person to stop anything getting ready from the Saints. But they're just shift walking it all the way towards. Oh, hearing Lemur in the back of JBH. Rocket, you're here to shoot these out, and you find.
It's really going to not allow Wayland to get out of the spawn for a little bit.
Yeah, and using that slow can actually set up your Widowmaker pretty nicely, because if Emran already has pretty nasty aim, a character moving at half speed is going to be pretty freeload for him to get those picks, and we've seen they're finding those early picks on the DPS every single time. Crime going to find that kill onto Waifu there, and now Squeak once again just W-keying with this Reinhardt, taking out everybody left and right, swinging through left and right. Going to find 3 kills there, and the Saints on an absolute tear right now. Now up to Sepias and supports, both find picks consistently. Definitely a very good sign for them. So they're going to love this start, and they're going to watch these plays back and be in love with it.
Yeah, and seeing that Baptiste at the end,
he feels comfortable in any single role, and the Saints are going to use it. And the Saints are absolutely slaughtering Wayland to start things off.
Yeah, with a Symmetra choice on side, I think, of the Saints, which we haven't seen that shown.
In the sim, it's just like focus sim turret, that's all the comms are. So you understand how frustrating it is to play against, especially on a start like this. You just get that free turret damage or the free laser damage right off the door, and then you basically just play back to your backline, and their backline has been flawless so far, just about.
Especially with a mini rework to Symmetra on her teleporter.
Yeah.
I used to be a Symmetra main, actually, so I was honestly, whoa.
Saints are just, this is Crime. Cart hasn't even been touched yet. Crime finding every headshot right now. Going to be a little widow on widow Crime, so to speak there, and he cannot be stopped right now in this backline. And Wayland, I'm not sure exactly what you try to swap through or what play you try to make, but you got to dig deep in the bag for something here, because they haven't found a single thing so far. And look at the Symmetra damage just burning through the side of Wayland. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and like you said, there's with no second tank.
These headshots, Emran is going to find the first pick, but that Moira Orb going to come back to get him. So nice little 1-for-1 trade. We're going to see Silver on the Orisa now. So I think a much better frontlining tank pick. You get the deflect. The rework for Orisa made Orisa one of the strongest tanks in the entire game. You get the fortify with the gold armor. You get the deflect. The ultimate has much more value than it did before as far as like team fighting and everything. Heisenberg will end up off the map there, I believe, probably at Lucio's hands, and the Saints are going to wipe this one out. Red X is going to find 3 on the triple, and the Saints, just like that, they're going to clean that one.
Getting 1 or 2 seconds on the site before somebody's coming to contest it. And with that, they found themselves a nice 20-point lead here, as the Saints are going to start swarming this hard point. But now the Samsons got full control. Saints are going to have to respawn and set up another push. Not if KMC is just out shooting them. Headshots go a little wide there on Uper. Now KMC forced to regen.
Perfect grenade. Wow, absolute. 2 grenades, actually both of them. rare Crimsons can find like 1 or 2 frags, and that's going to hurt you really pretty bad. Their smoke show is going to be the one to fall as well. So now all on you for Griff and Guard Dog, trying to hold off Griff. Gonna find the kill on KMC. Now Sway gonna trade out Griff there. So now down to 2. Audi gonna swing. Great job to find. That might end up being critical for the Saints there, but KMC gonna follow, find that AR kill, gonna push up to the point now. They're gonna get some pressure. Only 1.3 seconds. The Saints cannot afford to get knocked off this point. They're gonna find a couple frags. Great job by Sway to adjust. The Saints, they should be able to actually take this B point. I think Samsons are too far off to contest, and the frags are gonna come through, and the Saints, they are going to walk away. They are gonna get the capture, and they're gonna win Gavin 2 second time around.
Wow, they find...
Honestly, even if you give away your spot, you're gonna have time to reposition. Audi gonna whiff the first shot. We'll find the kill. Wow, movement galore. Gonna
think just about every angle being held here. Havex not looking though. Hayu's now in behind. Gets one on Havex, the second. Smoothies with a kill at the exact same time on Archway. Trademark is going to be popped. Not going to slow anyone, however, as taking down Caillou with an absolute spray down on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 headshots.
Moody's decayed down to 1. If the Saints can maybe try to make a play. Caillou finding his 3rd. He's going to find 4. Can he find the ace? Only 1 more to creep up on, and it's Taupe with 30 HP. Caillou trying to find it. Going to spray through the wall here. Sheriff is in hand, and there's a second ace for the
site there. It looks like the control is going to go over to St. Clair.
Yeah, already just starting off. Yeah, welcome back to the stream, by the way. Just getting right into the action here. Of course, this is a map that we've seen St. Clair do really well on hardpoint specifically, so not going to be too surprised with anything that comes through from them. Of course, already wresting control of this game. Only 1 kill, 2 kills now going over to the side of Northeastern, but already you can see the dominance this team is ready to pop down. As you can see, half of this game they've been on this hardpoint, absolutely demolishing everything that Northeastern are able to pull through for themselves. Greasy once again back on this point, but actually they will finally get to double digits. I was worried for a little bit for Northeastern. There we go. This is really different.
That was quick. Oh wow, this is the play. You gotta watch. Look at him live. Saints in this defending round. Bendy, how many can he find here? There's 1. Second one not gonna be found.
South Carolina, it's been a lot slower offensively for Carolina this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you didn't get that momentum off of that initial play there, and Spoot.
The passing play up here, Spoot slows possession, gonna wall ride for a bit, and get that second touch as well. So Spoot, great job of playing keep away in South Carolina's end so far.
Oh, is that one gonna weave it in? Weird. Now here in game 2, we're seeing a clean 3-0 here coming into the end of the game. Last 15 seconds gonna come in. Quint trying to find one. Cats just barely taps it off.
This is very much, they have all the time in the world to get it back. Spoot trying to get it done by himself. Now Quint's going to be there for the follow. Not able to find that second touch. Kamal is going to be there for the follow. And bang home. The Saints are like pretty heavily committing up on this midline too. And I think that might start to be a slight issue if they can't defend well.
Yeah, Spoots trying to get another one of those nose dribbles and
handoff.
Yeah.
Misfire, 2 members eyeing down the ball. Neither going to chase it. That will leave you in a world of hurt, especially if it's in the crease. South Carolina, once again, just maximizing the chances. They see a window, they're taking it. They're opening the window, running right through it, jumping in, and the Saints trying to get back in the score sheet here. They're trying to get a couple shots back-to-back. Spoods and Quint, maybe tied up a little bit. Spoods, great job to get by the defender, going to set up Quint. Oh, well, great job is going to get demoed there as Quint, and now Kamal trying to find the second touch. Will he get the angle? Not going to quite get the angle on Og there. And now back into the corner once more. Spoods gonna get the reset. Try to find something over the middle. Gonna see Quint. And Spoods gonna putting engagement. So he's more than happy to keep contesting. Rocket pushed up very, very far here. Gonna try to find something. Is gonna find 1. 2 on the spray. Gonna find the 3rd. Gonna find the 4th. Can he find the 5th? 1 more to play. Got the pistol. And an ace right up on the start of the round. Rushes up. Drops all 5 off. And the Saints are gonna take.
Have been really spotted out or given any info on their position. So looks like they're setting up for this B hit, and there already 2 picks coming out from the Saints.
Yeah, a setup it was. They're going to find a 3rd there. Multiple members getting involved. Rocket going to get taken out there, so now we're down to the 4v2. We've got RD whipping Domingo, trying to make some kind of play here. Smoke is going to go through. I believe Amali's going to go through as well. Mig once again going to find that pick, and now all on Domingo with this off, so he is going to get shut down right away by
the only person to stop anything getting ready from the Saints, but they're just shift walking it all the way towards. Oh, hearing Lemur in the back of JBH. Rocket You're here to shoot these out, and you find
It's really going to not allow Wayland to get out of the spawn for a little bit.
Yeah, and using that slow can actually set up your Widowmaker pretty nicely, because if Emran already has pretty nasty aim, a character moving at half speed is going to be pretty freelo for him to get those picks, and we've seen they're finding those early picks on the DPS every single time. Crime going to find that kill onto Waifu there, and now Squeak once again just W-keying with this Reinhardt, taking out everybody left and right, swinging through left and right. Going to find 3 kills there, and the Saints on an absolute tear right now. Now up to Sepias and supports, both find picks consistently. Definitely a very good sign for them, so they're going to love this start, and they're going to watch these plays back and be in love with it.
Yeah, and seeing that Baptiste at the end,
he feels comfortable in any single role, and the Saints are going to use it, and the Saints are absolutely slaughtering Wayland to start things off.
yeah, with a Symmetra choice on side of the Saints, which we haven't seen that shown.
In the sim, you know, it's just like focus sim turret the entire, that's all the comms are, so
yeah,
you understand how frustrating it is to play against it, especially on a start like this. You just get that free turret damage or the free laser damage right off the door, and then you basically just play back to your backline, and their backline has been flawless so far, just about.
Especially with a mini rework to Symmetra on her teleporter.
Yep.
I used to be a Symmetra main, actually, so I was honestly, whoa.
Saints are just, this is Crime. Cart hasn't even been touched yet. Crime finding every headshot right now. Going to be a little widow on widow Crime, so to speak there, and he cannot be stopped right now in this backline. And Wayland, I'm not sure exactly what you try to swap through or what play you try to make, but you got to dig deep in the bag for something here, because they haven't found a single thing so far. And look at this Symmetra damage just burning through the side of Wayland. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and like you said, there's with no second tank.
These headshots, Emran is going to find the first pick, but that Moira Orb going to come back to get him, so nice little 1-for-1 trade. We're going to see Silver on the Orisa now, so I think a much better frontlining tank pick. You get the deflect. The rework for Orisa made Orisa one of the strongest tanks in the entire game. You get the fortify with the gold armor, you get the deflect. The ultimate has much more value than it did before as far as like team fighting and everything. Heisenberg can end up off the map there, I believe, probably at Lucio's hands, and the Saints, they're going to wipe this one out. Red X is going to find 3 on the triple, and the Saints, just like that, they're going to clean that one.
Getting 1 or 2 seconds on the site before somebody's coming to contest it, and with that, they found themselves a nice 20-point lead here, as the Saints are going to start swarming this hard point, but now the Samsons got full control. Saints are going to have to respawn and set up another push. Not if KMC is just out shooting them. Headshots go a little wide there on Uper. Now KMC can force a regen.
Perfect grenade. Wow, absolute. 2 grenades, actually, both of them.
Rare hit.
Simpsons can find like 1 or 2 frags, and that's going to hurt you really pretty bad. Their smoke show is going to be the one to fall as well. So now all on Uper, Griff, and Guard Dog trying to hold off Griff. Gonna find the kill on KMC. Now Sway gonna trade out Griff there. So now down to 2. Audi gonna swing. Great job to find. That might end up being critical for the Saints there, but KMC gonna follow, find that AR kill, gonna push up to the point now. They're gonna get some pressure. Only 1.3 seconds. The Saints cannot afford to get knocked off this point. They're gonna find a couple frags. Great job by Sway to adjust. The Saints, they should be able to actually take this B point. I think Samsons are too far off to contest, and the frags are gonna come through, and the Saints, they are going to walk away. They are gonna get the capture, and they're gonna win Gavin 2 second time around.
Wow, they find.
Honestly, even if you give away your spot, you're gonna have time to reposition. Audi gonna whiff the first shot. We'll find the kill. Wow, movement galore. Gonna
Just about every angle being held here. Avex not looking though. Kayu's now in behind. Gets 1 on Havex, the second. Smooties with a kill at the exact same time on Twitchway. Trademark is going to be popped. Not going to slow anyone, however, as down Kayu with an absolute spray down on 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 headshots.
Moody's decayed down to 1. If the Saints can maybe try to make a play. Kayu finding his 3rd. He's going to find 4. Can he find the ace? Only 1 more to creep up on, and it's Tope with 30 HP. Kayu trying to find it. Going to spray through the wall here. Sheriff is in hand, and there's a second ace for the
site there. It looks like the control is going to go over to St. Clair.
Yeah, already just starting off, yeah, welcome back to the stream, by the way, just getting right into the action here. Of course, this is a map that we've seen St. Clair do really well on hardpoint specifically, so not going to be too surprised with anything that comes through from them. Of course, already wresting control of this game, and only 1 kill, 2 kills now going over to the side of Northeastern, but already you can see the dominance this team is ready to pop down. As you can see, for half of this game, they've been on this hardpoint, absolutely demolishing everything that Northeastern are able to pull through for themselves. Grizzly once again back on this point. Actually, they will finally get to double digits. I was worried for a little bit for Northeastern there, but yeah, this is really different.
That was quick. Wow, this is the play. You gotta watch. Look at him live. Saints in this defending round. Bendy, how many can he find here? There's one. Second one not gonna be found.
South Carolina, it's been a lot slower offensively for North Carolina this game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you didn't get that momentum off of that initial play there, and Spood.
The passing play up here, Spood still has possession. Get a wall ride for a bit and get that second touch as well. So Spood's great job of playing keep away in South Carolina's end so far.
Oh, is that one gonna weave it in? Weird. Now here in game 2, we're seeing a clean 3-0 here coming into the end of the game. Last 15 seconds gonna come in. Quint trying to find one. Katz just barely taps it off.
This is very much, they have all the time in the world to get it back. Spood's trying to get it done by himself. Now Quint's going to be there for the follow. Not able to find that second touch. Kamal is going to be there for the follow. And bang, home. The Saints are pretty heavily committing up on this mid line too, and I think that might start to be a slight issue if they can't defend properly.
Yeah, Spood's trying to get another one of those nose dribbles and
handoff.
Yeah.
Misfire, 2 members eyeing down the ball. Neither going to chase it. That will leave you in a world of hurt.
And welcome back to our Saints broadcasts. Adam Scholes alongside Josh Fundy once again looking for our Valorant game tonight. It's going to be an interesting one. St. Clair going up against Southern New Hampshire University. The Penmen going to be visiting the Saints here, and very curious to see how this matchup turns out because their records not as indicative of the performance of these two teams, I think.
Yeah, for sure. We've got the Saints coming in here into week 5 of NECC. They're finding themselves 3-1, only dropping that one series to Fisher College, whereas we've got SNHU coming in here 1-3. But as we've seen, scores definitely do not indicate performance. It seems like SNHU, Saints haven't played them since last year where they did take a win, but just like every team here, roster changes from last year, and definitely probably going to be mostly a new roster to contend with here. And coming in, Saints, however, have a lot of momentum on their hands. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah,
Adam?
I mean, just from this weekend playing in that campus clutch, they get to grand finals against Big Pizza, great university. I've heard they've got a great esports program there. But of course, going down in grand finals to Big Pizza, but taking them to a third game as well. This is a Saints team that has been so resilient over the last couple of weeks. And I think after that early season loss to Fisher, who have been just destroying everyone, it feels like, across all their competitions, it feels almost fitting that the Saints team has sort of scaled up and they've really been able to come into their own. Very curious to see how this roster plays out, especially considering the maps that we've got today. We were talking actually with Hybrid Manager a little bit earlier about some of the maps that they like, and looking at what we've got on the docket today, very curious to see how they perform.
Yeah, so we've got Ascent, Haven, and Bind coming in as 1, 2, 3, and you can see there we've got Saints starting attacker's side for those first 2 maps, and then capping it off with defense start on Bind there. And we've seen our fair share of close Bind game for the Saints. We've seen a stomp of a Bind game for the Saints, and we've seen an absolute reverse stomp against the Saints on Bind. So they claim they're pretty comfortable on it. It's one of their stronger maps, but some of those teams seem to have found the counters for a lot of Saints strategies here on Bind. And Haven is something we haven't seen the varsity team on very much here.
Yeah, and I think Ascent, it's a map that they picked as their map pick in the Campus Clutch Finals there. They actually went down on their map pick to Big Pizza there. They won on Fracture, which was a little bit interesting, especially seeing it not show up here today. On Haven, they had another map, I believe, against the winners in that semifinal where they weren't as up to par, but this Bind map has definitely looked a lot better for them over time. Curious that they didn't end up getting Pearl here. Usually that's a map that gets left to that decider because teams aren't as experienced on it. They don't really have an opinion, but I think especially after this weekend where they had 2 very strong performances on Pearl, it's a map that you've got to start considering banning away from the Saints, which is interesting all things considered because of how new of a map it is, and it got reworked very soon after it got released as well. I think we're in for a little bit more of a diverse map pool as the season progresses. Of course, Ascent is going to be one of those maps that teams really resistant to banning because a lot of teams are comfortable on it. It's sort of your very standard, 3-lane map. A lot of really cool things to come through on it, but I'm especially curious about this Bind pick, especially for map 3. If they go up against the wire here, they're going to be feeling pretty comfortable on that map.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you've said, we've seen them here on Bind, it feels like a million times at this point now, but Ascent being the starting, it definitely gives
I think, very high hopes for this Saints team to, you know, be able to just start with a huge lead, start with like something like a 1-0 in the series. And, you know, if they find that, they're kind of sailing on to Haven where they have, you know, a little bit to fall back on. We've seen when they have played Haven, we've seen very, you know, switched up comps from them. And like, obviously comps are going to change map to map, but like, I think it was Haven where we saw Ems, that, you know, typically that initial entry duelist player. We saw him pick the Sage on Haven and just kind of really throw everyone for a loop and, you know, frag out on it all nonetheless, really.
And I think depending on who is going to play as well, I mean, this weekend we saw Caillou have extremely strong performances. Jello as well sort of coming in as that second man in their roster there. It's been sort of a five-pronged attack from the Saints team. They've all had their strong performances throughout this season. And I think especially coming off of the early season, when we were doing the preseason, like, we were still a little bit curious about how this roster would turn out. Tappin hadn't yet arrived. There was still, you know, some shuffles in the mix there. So I'm curious to see how they've evolved, because it's been a while since us two together have casted this Valorant team. So even for us, we get to sort of see this progression and see how they've built themselves up, because sitting at 3-1 in the NJCAAE, they're tied for second place right now. Everyone's sort of fighting to go up against Fisher at this point. In that sense, there's still a lot of the season left to go. And I think especially with Harbor being released soon as well, we're going to get into a little bit of a mix-up into things. And I'm pretty sure the way NJCAAE works, they let those new agents come through pretty quickly. So we might see Harbor get picked up even as soon as next week. That's going to be fun to keep in mind as well. However, for the time being, still waiting for the teams to load up into that lobby. Once we get to agent select, we'll be right back.
Thank you for bearing with us through that break, and we are back here in Agent Select for Map 1 Ascent. Let's see some of these picks come out, Adam. I know we've seen a pretty common comp from the Saints here. We've seen a lot of KO here on Ascent. Casper actually coming out with a Killjoy, which is definitely something we've seen on Ascent before, but it's not, not always. They're very 50-50 on whether they pull out the Killjoy.
Not from Casper specifically. I think Casper has been sort of the chamber one trick in a sense. And I mean, it's been the meta for a little bit, but now that Chamber has gotten all of these nerfs, it's starting to move away from that. And I think out of all of the maps, Ascent is one of those ones where you don't necessarily need the Chamber as much, in Killjoy fills a lot of the same things. Your alarm bot goes the same place the trademark would go. You still have even more control over some place like Tree in that regard. But we'll have to see what comes through. Caillou going to opt for the Sova as opposed to the Fade. Interestingly enough, on the side of SNHU, they're going for both the Fade and the Sova there, opting for a zero duelist comp. Drop a thinking emoji on that one. That's an interesting option. I guess starting on defense, you're getting 12 rounds there. Maybe you don't want the duelist as much, or the priority goes down a little bit. Interesting choice.
Yeah, it also just comes down to that fact that, they do have the Chamber in the loadout there, so it is going to be the Chamber acting as that duelist. Just, you're going to have to be focusing more on this displacement or these entries from the initiators, from that KO, from, actually triple initiator, from that KO, from that Fade, and then of course the intel you're going to grab from both the Fade and the Sova. So it's going to be very interesting. It seems like we're going to be seeing a lot more, utility-based executes from SNHU, as opposed to something like, just an Ems getting in there on Jet, dash smoke, you've taken the space, and now you're ready to fight it out in some of these close-range fights.
Yeah, very curious to see how this all evolves. Purple team for the attackers. That's always interesting to see the color change-ups there. But of course, you can see already moving towards this B side. Very curious to see how they play this one out, especially in the early rounds. It can sort of set the tempo for yourself, and especially on a map like Ascent. I think tempo is very important. You want to sort of set the tone. You want to get that advantage for you, because overall it's a rather balanced map. I think slightly favored towards the defenders because of how small it is, but it is rather balanced overall.
Yeah, I would say I think Ascent is one of those maps where we see the most halves being even. We see a lot of 7-5s, we see a lot of 6-6s on this map. And Ems finding the first pick in the round there, finding a second. Dash is available. It's going to fizzle out just there, but Agren not able to find it onto Ems, but does find the headshot onto that KO. Ems not able to find it out, finds the third before being triggered.
Yeah, it's a 2v3 right now. You can see it's Coffee. Oh my goodness. Going to be going down to Caillou's Sheriff shot. It's going to be Caillou picking up another one onto Agren there, and that's going to be an attacker win on the pistol. Always good to start off your round with a bang.
Yeah, for sure, especially you come into that attacker's side now. You're going to have Spectres on your side. You're going to have full armor, and you're also going to have full utility pretty well. So you're going to be able to just get in there, throw in your utility, and use that eco advantage, classic advanced round strategy. Whereas we are seeing actually a full save from SNHU here. I know, often we see a lot of teams at least opt for something like a Ghost or a Frenzy, even a Shorty, just that cheap investment that can almost guarantee the one kill if they come into one of your close angles there. But it's also going to be SNHU just completely leaving this A site open.
Yeah, you always sort of look at that good for one angle on these eco rounds. But yeah, flank coming around from C-Dubs already, trying to find any sort of angle. But look at this, it's a full flank. A site is completely left open. And as you can see, Hilton coming in from Tree. There's so many members off site right now that St. Clair just able to get as much room as possible for tap, and trying to get those one taps on the side will get traded out. It's actually a little bit of an advantage over to SNHU.
Yeah, 4-tapping and Casper just absolutely annihilated by the 3 players coming in from attacker's spawn there, and PY going to be fighting it out with Jello. And as it's just Ems left coming in from heaven, Hilton, the defuse is coming down. You've only got so much time. You got to push that diffuser, and there's the Thrifty coming through. Ems finding the 4K in the end, but could not save the round.
Oh, it's all in vain, but it's the spectacular play coming through from Ems. I mean, he turned on the computer today and said, I'm going to frag out 7-1 through 2 rounds. The knives are already online, so this is actually a really interesting tool, because on a save round like this, you can give that gun over to someone like 4-Tap in here, as we see, and now Ems has the knives as that option to go in, be that initiator, be that kill threat onto the side of SNHU. So, you know, an even opening here, but those knives are going to be really pivotal here. You can see just buying the full shield, popping that immediately. Let's see what they can get off of this.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to what can Ems put in with these knives, but with 2 kills already going over to SNHU and shutting down those knives immediately, that may be the round all but secured. I mean, looking at these buys here, you're seeing Saints here stuck with Sheriffs. Nice looking Sheriff there at that, but you know, it's not going to beat out a Vandal even at those longer ranges. Headshots not actually going to kill with the Sheriff at long range, so
yeah, you can't be 4-tapping with them. You have to be 1-tapping with the Sheriff in this situation, just trying to get as many eco kills as possible. That's sort of the angle I see here from the side of the Saints. Oh my goodness, speaking of which, Jello going to be able to sneak up underneath the chamber. 8 health in tow. Going to be really difficult to get themselves out of this one, but any kills that you get here, you get another one here. Going to mean a whole lot for your round, as you can see. Sort of moving this around, actually giving the gun over to Casper here, so trusting in their coach shot caller there to make it happen. Jello's going to fall down right away, so ends up working out perfectly, almost. Not really.
Oh, C-Dubs, great play in that corner, able to find the last 2 and secure that buy round for them. Now, it's up to the Saints to, you know, put together a buy here, get your rifles up. You got no ultimates on the board, but neither does the other team, although Agron very, very close to that tour de force on the chamber, but as of yet, fairly even game. You see a light armor on Caillou, but that is really the only difference here in the buys.
Yeah, and realistically, when you see a slate of 4 Vandals on the enemy side, the light shields don't matter that much. It's still a 4-shot if you're getting hit in the body. It's still a 1-shot if you get hit in the head. It's only, you know, a phantom moment that might end up hurting you at the end of it, but very curious to see how this A execute goes, especially with now that we're on full buys for both teams. We'll see if St. Clair are able to wrest back control in their favor. This was sort of a thing that we saw in the campus clutch where they had trouble getting these sort of early game advantages. They really scaled into the mid and late game in a sense along these later rounds. But as you can see, the execute on site, Casper finds 1, finds 2 already here. This Killjoy able to find a couple of frags already. It's a 5v2, and this looks really good for St. Clair's offense.
Yeah, and a lot of that utility that was available on that fade, on that chamber, now going to be burned. Not really ready for this retake. Chamber going to fall, and it's just up to fade here. Only eye available. Like I said, no other utility. The headshot onto 4-tapping. Going to keep some dreams alive for a little bit. There's the double, but now you're at 14 health. You're spotted out. You're suppressed. The only thing you've got in hand is a Vandal. It looks like it is going to be the save coming out for here from Hilton.
Yeah, and I mean, Caillou there with a sliver of health as well, not really wanting to risk it at that. Casper with not a whole lot of bullets in the chamber. Yeah, 5 health on Caillou. Seems like everyone's going to be able to get out alive. It is a little bit of a save coming through from Southern New Hampshire here, but nonetheless, a very strong attack round. That entry was excellent coming through from them.
Yeah, and I think if you're Saints, right, you'll take that round. You'll let them have that gun because you can see not too much money on the side of C-Dubs and Agron there. Agron, he'll be able to pull out that tour de force, but when it comes to C-Dubs, the money is just not there, whereas you're seeing almost full buys come back here for the side of the Saints. Jello there on the Spectre, but I mean, KO on a Spectre, that's fine, because a lot of times you're going to be coming in after whatever teammate you just flashed for and, you know, going for some of these close engagements anyway. And there's the ultimate coming out from Jello. The null command going to be shutting down Hilton here on site. Actually, 3 SNHU members here holding down this B site already.
Yeah, you can see just trying to spray through these Omen smokes as much as possible to try and get any information. Jello makes it onto site, going to get taken down, though, right as the null command expires. A little bit of unfortunate timing. M's going to go down, trying to go onto the table as well. Caillou going to be able to get one in return, but it's all up to 4-tapping here. You know, 4 bullets in the chamber, potentially got 4 kills in line. There's one. Picking him up for himself. This Astra, though, not going to be able to get that one. Double peeking coming through as Agron picks up there. Second with the tour de force. SNHU hold the line.
SNHU just coming out, swinging on that B push. The flash seemed really good from Jello, and then the tap through the smoke from Hilton just seemed to work, and it just started off that absolute chain reaction of kills for them. Now, you're finding yourself good eco lead, good weaponry advantage as well as the round lead here should be all but the next one sealed for SNHU.
And you can see it's sort of a half buy coming through from the side of St. Clair. If they win this round, it's great for them to get their econ back on track. If not, it's going to force at least a save round, if not a couple, just to sort of get themselves back in line. You can see Ems coming through with the Stinger. I think out of all the players, we've seen Ems sort of be the biggest proponent for these buffs on the Stinger, using it a lot more on these eco rounds just to try and find anything. But even then, with the Astral Wall coming down, looks like they're going to rotate away. Lots of noise on the way out, though. Might have to be careful of Agron's flank here. M's going to get caught with the head glitch there, unfortunately, as Casper going to be able to trade one back. Going to be another one picked up by Hilton here, and the numbers advantage is going all in favor of SNHU. Hilton hiding in the Rosa corner there, trying to find anything that they can. They're going to be able to pick one up, though, so it's a 3v2, but it's still going to be a tough numbers disadvantage for Saints.
Yeah, kill secured by Payu's shock arrow there, but that's going to be C-Dubs with a headshot, and Ty going to be cleaning it up now, securing second round lead here for SNHU. That triple initiator comp working very, very well on the defense so far. Just so much utility to just toss at the side of the Saints here and just keep this pressure going. We are going to see a timeout here from the Saints, and really, you know, on an eco round like this, what can they do coming back in? You might just have to soak the next round and play for those buy rounds.
And I think that's sort of the strategy they've gone for a lot of times. They just want to get that momentum away from the enemy team with these sort of timeouts. We saw it, like, timeout usage is a really interesting thing to look at because it's not something that we see in our solo queue games. You don't get a timeout, but in these more collaborated efforts, you know, you need to sort of take some time, just take a breath, say, hey, listen, we lost a couple of really tough rounds. Let's rethink a strategy. Let's get a strategy for the next round. Sort of just get this round out of the way, this eco round, and look for something else, try and find a couple of frags. And I think that's really where it becomes important. You want to be able to sort of get yourselves back on the road here because, you know, dropping this round, you still have a chance for a 7-5 half. You still have a chance to have a 6-6 half at that. You just need to get yourselves back in line. Sometimes just taking that breather to sort of say, hey, let's not look at this game for a minute. Let's just take a break and let's get some strategies together.
Yeah, for sure. And as we get back into game here, I mean, you're going to have basically an extra round here for the Saints to really get a strategy together. You see that operator now in hand for the chamber, as well as 4,500 in the bank. So that could spell disaster for the Saints in the future, especially, I mean, you're pushing in to an opping chamber on defense. And as Ty getting a little aggressive here, actually going to get tagged down at the start, but there's Coffee with a double. That operator coming in clutch, and it's just an absolute wipe here on the eco round. 2 frags given back to the Saints, but, you know, at least you take those rifles out of their hand, but instantly rebought from the side of SNHU.
Yeah, expected result, I want to say, but looks like there's going to be a little bit of a tech pause coming through as well. So seems like there are some issues coming down. See what sort of figures that out, but yeah, you can see just right after that round, it's a little bit of a tough situation where, you know, you're on an eco regardless. You get a couple of kills back for yourselves, but it's still just the wallets of SNHU coming through in stride. They're really feeling good about their gameplay, and I think overall across this game, we've just got to be really watching how they get back up into their comfort zone a little bit. And I think especially in the campus clash, it's the most recent thing. It's something we can look at. St. Clair were very streaky. They went, you know, 7 rounds, 8 rounds in a row, just winning all of them, but also going sometimes where they, you know, lost 7 of 9, you know, 6 of 8 in that sort of sense. But it's going to be curious to see how that turns out.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these rounds are just going straight, you know, even finally the one even buy round we saw, it went straight to SNHU just by having one player on, you know, a very unexpected flank, very unexpected position, and then grabbing a 1-2K there and just converting off of that, allowing the rest of the team to just flood in and grab the kills. You know, you see how even the kills are here. You've got 8 and 8 there, Hilton and Agron. Agron just absolutely holding down the angles with that with that tour de force, whichever one he happens to have in hand, you know, even though they're the same thing essentially. And then Hilton there just absolutely doming heads, really. That's all you can say about Hilton.
Yeah, and I think Ems after the first couple of rounds has sort of cooled off a little bit here, sort of coming back into their own. Coffee looking for these aggressive plays, and look at how aggressive the side of SNHU have been consistently pushing forward. They're looking for these early frags. Are going to be spotted out here. Nightfall going to be coming down as well. You can see just trying to set this up as well as possible. Caillou can blind it out. There's so much mid control for the side of St. Clair, but look at the extremities. So much control back the other way for SNHU as Coffee finds a kill onto Casper.
See, I really don't understand that. You see the pop flash come out, and you're just not ready for anyone to push top mid. Like, I don't see why the Saints aren't watching that, but Hilton, once again, coming in with another headshot. I feel like Hilton only finding headshot kills here. Just an absolute demon on that Vandal. Coffee coming in, trying to convert it to the third, and he does. That is going to be the kill onto tapping. 6-2 now for Southern New Hampshire.
And especially with the econ advantage that they have now, they have the agency to sort of buy out for the rest of the game, or the rest of the half at that. So I think they really need to sort of get themselves back together, get themselves on the same page once again. And I think especially after the performances that we saw yesterday, the last couple of weeks, it's a little bit disappointing to see them come out a little bit flat to open this one out. You see 4 rounds in a row now picked up for the side of SNHU. Not really controlling the extremities as much as we'd like to see. We saw that Chamber, you know, popping from Fish at that or the market there, just able to find so many angles. And I think now with this more aggressive push onto A, they just need to try and get in, and they need to get on site, get a plan down at the very least.
Yeah, because we're seeing that defaults are just being absolutely picked apart by the side of SNHU. So I like the idea of just get in there, use that ultimate early, and now you've got Ems set up here for the dash through with the Stinger. You found the pick onto Coffee, someone who's been so common to just come in and shut down your team, but once again, it's these crazy picks. Agron coming in with a double there. Headhunter coming out for a headshot as well, and Hilton, you're going to start pushing this Bucky here, and that is going to be another one for Hilton there. And once again, it's just the second that push comes out, the second that Saints show aggression, SNHU right back in their faces, and they're winning the gunfights.
And this is a really important round at that, because you're full buying on round 10 here. You need to try and make something happen. There's some ultimates to come through as well. Knives back available. You know, there's the Killjoy lockdown as well. But of course, now that the KO nade goes through walls, it's a little bit more difficult. You have to be more selective about where you're dropping down this lockdown as well. So it's tough pickings here, because SNHU coming out firing on all cylinders. As you said, a very collaborative effort coming through, everyone sort of contributing in their own right. And I think at that, they need to sort of get their wits about them a little bit, maybe play for a couple of picks first, because it seems like in these larger scale fights, these skirmishes, as we'd say, they're not really going the way of the Saints here, more so going towards the Penman.
Yeah, 100%. And seeing probably one of the slowest rounds we have seen since the starting of this game here. Now 30 seconds into the round, no kills to be spoken of. 3 ultimates available for the Saints. You've got that null command, you've got the lockdown, you've got the knives available on Ems, and with some of your players being on weaponry, might be something you opt to use soon. Caillou, no one's going to clear out Wine here. Coffee in perfect position to set up a great flank here, and there it is. Kill come out onto Casper, onto Jello, shutting down the null command, finds the third. Jello still able to be rezzed, but it's all up to tapping, and the time is ticking. There it is. Kills are gonna come out. Coffee gets the third officially, and Agron gonna finish it off. Just once again, pure domination here, and it's often coming to just St. Clair. Clear your angles. It's like #1, you know, ground rule in TAC FPS games. Clear out the angle, and then it's considered safe, and you're not clearing out Wine after, you know, giving a tricky player like Coffee the time to be able to make it there. You know, if you don't see a main in that initial 10 seconds, you've got to assume you have to clear out Wine, because somebody could have made it there.
It's an addendum to, you know, cross your T's and dot your I's. Check Wine every single time, because there's bound to be someone in there if you leave that opportunity. Of course, this time around, they don't go there, so maybe we just caster curse it every single time. Maybe if we just start caster cursing at everything, you know, things will start to go the way that we want them to. But M's going to pop the knives once again on this sort of half-save round here. It's a necessity at this point. You really need to try and find this round win for whatever you can, but even then, Agron stepping forward so aggressively. Look at how far up the off is every single time. So difficult to contest. Gonna drop the lockdown here. Killjoy to try and get them access to this site here. Ems, they're just holding the angles for now. They want to try and find a play into the middle here, but all of these dogs coming through from the fade as well. My goodness, Ty finds 2 on this push through.
It's just that sheer utility, just slowing down these quick executes. Saints are trying to have all 5 players, 4 out of 5 players, flood out onto B site, and Jello holding B site down alone, but Ty coming in for the 3K that round. The Sheriff not going to be able to fight it out. 9-2 now. Saints, can you make it a 9-3 half? Maybe start cursing Southern New Hampshire back to themselves. 9-3 curse. Very real thing here in Valorant.
I mean, especially considering what we saw yesterday. There was an instance of the 9-3 curse on Fracture. They were down 9-3 at the half. They pulled off 8 rounds in a row to push it to 11-9. So there is a world where they can get themselves back in the driver's seat here. Just get a little bit of momentum going for yourself. And I think, especially after a really slow start like this, you need to look towards your veterans to really push through. Really look for Casper to have a big round here. Caillou to sort of bring that X factor once again. Astrowall going to come through all ready to start off the round, but no frags quite yet. You can see giving that corner just a little bit of a peek there, but C-Dubs is on the other side of this. Get blinded so they don't spot it out. This is so close, though. You got to be careful with your plant. It's already coming down. Jello going to be able to do this. It's going to be a little bit of a tough situation. 4tappin finding 2 of them already. 3 picked up for 4tappin. Looking for even more. The utility coming down. Caillou using the Hunter's Fury as well. It's 4tappin going down, but Jello cleans up the last 2. There's your 9-3 half, as St. Clair finally get another one on the board.
All right, moving on towards attack here for Southern New Hampshire. Saints finding themselves on defense, and I mean, it really comes down to this, right? You have less defensive utility than Southern New Hampshire ever did. Meanwhile, SNHU finding themselves with 3 agents now that can grab them intel about who's on site, where they are on site, you know, shutting down their utility. They've got the options to really play a very slow and calculated attack, but at the same time, this is the same team we just saw play one of the most aggressive defenses I've seen in probably my entire time here on the cast, right? So the question is, how are they going to play this? Are they going to play to their utility advantages, or are they going to play to what seems like their aim advantages at this point?
You can just see already using 2 of those utility abilities to sort of get themselves as much space as possible. Hilton already bought so much space forward here. Caillou going down. M's going to be able to trade one back the opposite way, but already onto site. Site here. You can see what the Killjoy is able to set up as well. Not sure if they spotted out Casper quite yet. That shot might give it away just a little bit. Now we're going to be having to play that retake, although C-Dubs takes a lot of damage from those swarm grenades.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming through there, as well as Casper able to convert that into a kill onto the Sova. So now down to a 3v3, very even on health as well. But Agrin set up perfectly for this post plant. The smoke is going to come out from 4tapping there. And this is going to be Saints' Q to start flooding onto site. Nobody ready to clear garage. Agrin the second. You know he's whipping out that headhunter the second that this is taken down. They're going to be the kills coming out, but Casper finds 2 for himself. Can he make it the 4th attack? That's going to be the pistol round going once again to the Saints here, starting off their first defense win here, and you got to keep this momentum rolling. You cannot lose the advance round like you did last half. It will be detrimental. We saw how much it just damaged Saints' economy in those first like 4 or 5 rounds of the game. You whiff it now, you throw this round now, and that's the game closed out for you in terms of economy at least.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. I mean, if you lose this round, it's another round where you have to switch it back. It's basically puts you down to 1 last buy round if you lose this one here. So you need to make this one count. You need to get this anti-eco. You need to try and get this as flawless as possible if you can. But of course, Casper really showing their veterancy here, showing that they've got that dog in them to say, get that 4K at that one. But look at how aggressive SNHU are pushing on. They probably going to be moving in onto this tree area really quickly. Jello, though, going to find that first kill onto Hilton. Might be able to find another one here. M's picking it up on the Stinger there. 2 more kills for themselves, and this is the tempo advantage. Wanted to see out of St. Clair really pushing forward here to try and get these frags and put SNHU at the disadvantage.
This is looking more like exactly how you'd expect one of these rounds to go. The buys come out, the kills come out, and we are 1 player away from a flawless here. C-Dubs out through mid. M's gonna dash jump there. Not gonna be close enough to the kill. C-Dubs actually finds that right click onto Jello and is able to trade one back. Caillou there in mid to pick up the kill, and Casper Not really going to put in any work with that Phantom they bought last round, but is carrying it over towards this next round. So that is going to be, you know, that upper scale of weaponry when you are still just saving from the last round. So.
Exactly, and you can see it's a full bonus round at this. You know, Fortap now going for the Judge, potentially with the Astra. I like this strategy a lot of times where you just sit in your smoke and opt for the Stinger instead, but a lot of cases...
Judge!
Let's go, it's the Judge coming through, so probably just going to sit in the smoke and look for their 1 or 2, but even at that, you can see how much they want to save their economy. They don't want to overreach here, and while you've got this Phantom in Casper's hands, that's just, you know, that's a bonus Phantom. That's pretty good for yourself if you want to put it that way. So in terms of economic advantage, you still have a little bit of agency here on the side of St. Clair to be able to turn it around, maybe find a couple of these Vandals to pick up as well. So this round, super, super important if they want to get that momentum back in their favor.
For sure, but now very, very slow and calculated from New Hampshire. You know, the opposite of what we've seen them on attack here thus far, and really not even giving second of ability. They're not giving away any info. You've got Agron just slow walking up mid here on the chamber, making sure nobody's peeking mid. You see Caillou now going to use the drone, literally spotting out nothing. They're just playing this as slow as possible. You've ran down a minute on the clock without anything being spotted out, and you can see Hilton on the other side there using all of that utility, starting to, you know, maybe make the Saints think, is it going to be an A hit? Is it going to be an A hit? You've only got Caillou left here on B site. That shock dart, there it is. Ty going to fight Q, find the kill, and they've got all the site control they need on B.
They'll get that plant down. No one was in Boathouse. It's going to be full retake mode for the side of St. Clair. Breaking through that door early, that's really important. You want to get there as quickly as possible. Casper picks up the pick on the Hilton. That's the flanker that they had to worry about. Now you just got to execute well onto this site. Of course, so much utility being burned on both sides. Agron holding this really tight angle as well, but time is taken, St. Clair. You got to pick up the pace here if you're going to try and collect this round. Don't think you can afford to have just a full save, especially on your bonus. Ems clearing out the angles, clearing out the after smoke from last time. That's going to be Agron finding another one onto Casper here. As the tempo picks up, C-Dubs is able to pick up another one, a 4v2 situation, but it's a Stinger, and Ems here fully with this Phantom to try and collect this one up. Seems like they're just going to run out of time. Get some exit frags on the way out. Coffee going to go down as well. C-Dub's going to trade that one back out. M's going to try and pick up their exits. That's 2 more for themselves. It's going to be a loss for the side of St. Clair, but a heavy hit to the econ. No one stays alive.
Yeah, everyone dying to the bomb there at the end, and a great double pick up from Ems, now able to actually grab an AWP this round because of that. That could be huge, because even though they won that round, look at these light armor buys coming out from SNHU, and yeah, it doesn't matter against the AWP, but you know what it does matter against? The Bulldog that you're seeing from Casper. So the fact that you're able to, you know, make the economy, you know, put a dent in that economy so much that they are going to be on half armor there, it's going to make this Guardian buy now, any of these, you know, weaker weapons than the traditional rifles, all of those are now extremely potent coming into this round, but we're seeing in the opposite of last round, Hilton getting super aggressive, tossing the eye in there, but everyone going to be stalled by that Astral Well.
Yeah, really well played from Fortap to sort of stall them out, wait this one out a little bit. You can still see Casper lurking over towards this A site with all of that setup there. It's going to be so hard for them to try and rotate over, but I want to point out Ems really aggressive on that AWP angle, was forced into pizza there, forced right back out afterwards with the push forward from Hilton and that Prowler. So curious to see if they choose to execute onto this B site. I think it's been sniffed out a little bit here, but once again, it's all about the defense. Shock Dart going to come through from Caillou as now the push forward comes in. It's going to be Jello finding one all ready for themselves, so they sniff this one out. Spike goes down as Ems finds the AWP shot.
Now player advantage and only 40 seconds left to make something happen here, but immediately 2 kills thrown back to the side of SNHU. Now down to a 2v2. C-Dubs clearing out this site, and it's just Casper left on the rotation in the 1v2. Bomb yet to be planted, but there is so much damage going now onto Casper, and you don't find the headshot on the crossing C-Dubs.
Tough. It's so difficult. You've got 34 health, but look at C-Dubs, 19 health for themselves as well. You got to try and find this pick on the Agron first here. Look at the timing, though. There's Casper picking up one, but it's not going to be enough. They'll get that res through on the KO. It's going to be SNHU on 11.
Yeah, that is going to be so close to match point here now. And look at the Saints' economy coming into this round. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to see a crazy good buy from SNHU. Both economies kind of, down in the dumps here. But when you're this close to something like match point, I don't see SNHU not opting for a force here, considering the money on the side of the varsity. Thanks, varsity here.
Yeah, realistically, it's really difficult when you're down at 11 and you don't have the econ to buy, because you're forced into a situation where either you're guaranteed overtime at the best, or you can sort of hold the line a little bit, try and push forward. Look at how aggressive this push is, though. Coffee sees the feet, though, as Jello goes down. The aggression is quelled as M's actually able to pick one up. He has 5 HP, though, and with no heals available, that's permanent damage.
Gonna just opt for the triple body shot there. No headshot to be found, and he looking for... That gun might have just went off the map.
Yeah, I think it went off the map there. Might have been looking for what was potentially a...
I believe it was a Vandal on Ogren there. And there it is, the alarm bot gonna be triggered. Ty being spotted out. Can they spam him through the wall? Just barely whiffing, and that is gonna be it for the detections. He's gonna make it onto site. Not unscathed, but alive, to say the least. And now, one player advantage here from SNHU, and M's so low on health here.
You've read this like a book, though. Omen ultimate goes on the opposite side, though. Casper and Caillou are going to be able to pick that one up. Now they can clear this site. Now they know what is happening. M's 5 HP in a dream. Gonna hear this plant go down. It is full retake mode, but it's 3v2. This is going to be so challenging for Saints to be able to pull off. Coffee actually going to go down as well. Caillou able to pick up a Phantom. So if they can find this round, this is absolutely massive. Hilton hears all the footsteps. Do they have the timing? That's one, but they will fall. Caillou able to clutch it out. M's survived that round with 5 HP, feeling really happy with it. My goodness, what a round. They're going to try and pick up whatever they can because they need to save some of these guns.
Yeah, for sure. And this is definitely going to be a tough one here. I mean, in high hopes for the Saints, you've at least found now a round for yourself. You know you've hurt SNHU's economy pretty bad. Yes, you had to invest a little bit yourself. You invested in a Marshal, you invested in some Sheriffs, but look at the rifles that are going to come through on this buy. That was the round you needed to really keep this game in check and really keep this game possible, in my opinion, because now, you've got at least 2 or 3 rounds where you're going to have that advantage up against SNHU. You've got the op in hand. You've got 3 ults available, 3 great ultimates available, to say the least, as well.
I think if we look at it in terms of chess terms as well, it's sort of as if SNHU put them into a little bit of a fork where he's forcing their hand in a sense, but Saints able to sort of read through that, get out of that situation alive. Ems, though, forced all the way back with the op already. Coffee, though, 15 health, going to be taking so much from the Hunter's Fury. This Sova ultimate is excellent, finds 2 kills already.
And look at the damage. That was probably one of the most clutch Sova ultimates I've ever seen. Casper picking up the 2 that were lit there on site, and now it's just Ty left. Spammed through the wall. Caillou finds the 3rd. That is going to be 7 rounds now for the Saints. They're closing this gap.
It's starting to close a little bit more. This operator is saved once again for Ems, whose economy was in the dirt after picking that one up. Going to be a little bit of a recovery there. They can afford another buy if they do drop around now. So that saves them from sort of an embarrassing last round at the very least. They're going to be able to keep their own in that last round. Of course, looking at the buys across Agron here with the Tour de Force available, you've got a lot of tools in your hands to sort of hold the line now from the side of SNHU to try and find this round win. Are going to drop that recon dart into B main, but all of this mid power every single round goes the way. M's gonna miss that op shot. That's really unfortunate because now they know exactly where this jet is. They know where the op is. They've got to get this jet out somehow.
Yeah, M's able to rotate out of there safely at the cost of an Astro Smoke there. You saw, Caillou and Fortapping, they tried to pull some Odin shenanigans there on B, the classic stuff we see there on Ascent, but just happened to be the SNHU sending it straight towards mid, and now Ems finds the pick down through tree. This could give Jello some time to win these fights, but C-Dubs, great headshot coming in. 24 health left on C-Dubs. Can't be too aggressive here. At least it's going to force them out. Saints
given a little bit more time to kind of rethink things, regroup, and rearm here. Now it's just going to be a mid-push down here through Market.
Cenos has 24 health. It's going to be so difficult. You can see that they anchored the site so well, though, on B. Don't think that they're aware that Fortappen is here with the Odin. Hasn't fired off a shot yet. That might spot it out. Oh, my goodness. Hilton turns the corner, finds the head. It'll be challenging, though, Caillou in boat. Oh, no.
There's the shot coming out from the Tour de Force, and Hilton, absolute magnet to these heads today. Casper trading one back, but now the intel is there. No, he's going to be coming from CT or Market. You've got that Tour de Force holding the angle so close. The elbow exposed. 2 health on Casper. How do you live that? But the second you peek out, that is going to be the round. Now, match point here, game point for SNHU.
They're going to be really up against the fence here. You know, I'm still going to be able to get an op somehow, some way, but look at this. The judge for Fortappen, it's no shields on Ems actually here, so really backs up against the wall. You're going to have to fight for your life here. I mean, the economy's on the side of SNHU. Once again, not going to be the most redeeming at that, but there is still an angle for the side of St. Clair to win this. It is a winnable situation. They just got to string together a couple of really strong rounds because thus far, it's been a lot closer for them on this defense than it was on attack.
Yeah, for sure. And now M's holding this close, not getting spotted out by that arrow. Just barely able to just hold this tight angle here on tiles. It's going to be, once again, another slow round from SNHU before they use an ultimate. They actually commit 2 ultimates to this. Don't get a player on site off of it.
That was a lot of utility used. I mean, the Fade ultimate, the Sova ultimate, they spotted out how many people
Look at Fortappen here.
Fortappen, you rat. If you can pull this off, it would be fantastic. There's 1, there's 2 picked up, there's 3 picked up with the judge. Fortappen, he gets 3 there, and that's a miraculous save because look at Ty's health. It's only the Fade left, all of them damaged a little bit. If you can get a flawless here, this is perfect for Saints.
Yeah, perfect to keep them in this game. Try to force that overtime. What you gotta do. Caillou takes down Ty there. Now it's just Hilton left, a headshot from Casper. Gonna close out the flawless, keeping Saints in this game. 4 rounds is not that much.
4 rounds is definitely doable, especially with how strong their defense has looked. I mean, look at that. That judge was just so picture perfect from Fortappen. It's the dream. You camp around that corner. You do literally I guess the least ethical thing you can do in Valorant. Camping around a corner with a shotgun, waiting for people to come through. But when it matters most, Fortappen able to find those. Now you've got 3 really strong ultimates once again. Casper setting up the microwave and tree there, but Fortappen with that Astro ultimate, that's going to be so pivotal. It can prevent so many people from getting onto that site. Just splits off so much communication as well with the sound cue. So if you really need a round win, you've got some crutches to go back on with this Killjoy ultimate and the Astro ultimate.
My only concern here is that, yes, you've got these weaponry advantages, but Agron has been so hot here on this Headhunter. First pick comes out from Ems, able to reposition.
To the wall.
Gonna take it back towards CT. Ty falling, second pick now. Caillou finds a double. It's just Coffee left, and you're stuck in B main.
Out for a cup at that, you know, just the last person left alive. Gonna try and peek around it is Fortappen here, but you've still got this angle held by the op. Coffee gonna be able to find 1. Not gonna be quite enough, but as they get to 9, they save those ultimates. They save a lot of their tools, and the op gonna be picked up. Ems finds 2 and does their job in that round as well.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, look at this scoreboard right here. Caillou, you know, you talked about how hot he was playing there at the Red Bull Campus Clutch. Now, coming into this, not only probably some of the most value Sova ults I've ever seen. I think the one did close to 360 damage total. That was absolutely wild. And now coming in, just finding the kills, topping the board here, even getting over Ems, who's been finding a lot of these entry kills, a lot of these initial picks. Now, can, you know, these 2 players that are holding down the team right now, can they make this happen? Can the rest of the Saints be right there with them?
This round is really pivotal as well for the side of SNHU, just because if you lose this round, your economy is back in the dirt. You're really forced up against the wall. You maybe got 1 more buy round left in you, but K ultimate going to be triggered here. They're going to try and execute onto this A site, something they haven't done too often. Jello going to be staying away from a lot of this detection, so they don't really know where any members are. Great op shot going to take down C-Dub over in Tree. It's another one picked up by Ems. His shot is clean. They're going to kill this out before the KO is able to get any sort of effort. But once again, on-site, Spike is down. Here comes the Killjoy ultimate.
Here it comes. All three players spotted out there, but nobody going to be taking out with the wall bangs. Casper dodges that bungee there as he's able to find the second of the round. 4-tapping coming back in and cleaning up the rounds for the Saints there. Wow. That is going to be 12-10 now. The Saints not going down without a fight.
Talked about how streaky this team can be, and it works to their advantage and their disadvantage alike. You know, now you look at these buys, it might be a Bulldog on a couple, a light shield and some rifles maybe. It's not going to be a very well put together buy for the side of New Hampshire, so now potentially St. Clair College, Astra, thank you for the quote, St. Clair College going to be able to get everything together. No money on Caillou. I don't think it matters considering the rest of the economies overall. So St. Clair now is starting to hit them with their wallets a little bit more this round. Just as important. Every round's important when you're up against the wall, but it's been, 4 or 5 match points by the side of Southern New Hampshire that they haven't been able to put together. If St. Clair can keep it up, they're going to push this to overtime where it's just a whole new ball game at that point.
Caillou, you're going to get a lot of intel mid off of that drone. Probably just spotted out about 2 there. Is that a sonar or a shock is the question. Sonar dart going to be put out and just immediately shot down by the side of SNHU. Coffee is now moved up almost to this pizza area. They've definitely got that mid control, and I think it's interesting to see that the Saints have been fine with just giving up mid control. 4-tapping, finding the first. Ems shot's going to be good. Now should be an 11th round for the Saints.
See how loud they are here as well. Caillou spots this all out. Just one tap on him. Doesn't even need the 4 of them, even though it's on his team. Now we're going to be able to find another one. Caillou will go down to the Sheriff shot, but that's 45 health on Hilton. You're going to need a room at the hotel if you're going to survive that one, because really, really close and trying to do what they can. Oh my goodness. Even the turret going to be getting in on the action, but Hilton just stuck in Tree here, and it's just a matter of time before they potentially
30
fall.
seconds left.
Yeah. Hilton. Here. So low here, 27 health, Sheriff in hand, no spike to be found. Ooh. Wow, what a headshot. Hilton better on the reactions, but Casper quicker on the spray there. I mean, you gotta expect to be taken down at some point. Hilton, you take the one shot you could find, and here is the timeout gonna be coming through for SNHU. You've put a buy together now. You've made it through the absolute depths of your economy. You're now here, dead even. How do you take this?
It's going to be tough for SNHU. I think a lot of what they need to do is look towards this A site once again. They've had a lot more success, it feels like, in terms of feeling out what St. Clair are willing to do. They haven't really solved this B site because every single time they're pushing up through mid, they're not really, they're getting a lot of information mid, but these extremities have been so good. And it's for both teams on their attacking side. They've always looked towards this mid, and it hasn't been successful for either team. Normally, we don't expect Ascent to be as defensive focused here, but it's been sort of a stalwart for both of these sides. So very curious to see where they move around their money, if they pick up an op on offense potentially. I think that's what we need to look for this chamber, but ultimate economy, I believe, is still very much evened out here. Looking over here, we've got the Omen ultimate, we've got that Fade ultimate. Believe chamber should be about 1 or 2 points off as well. So no matter what, we're going to be in a little bit of a crunch time situation. St. Clair just needed this one round, and everything sort of resets for themselves. And yeah, looking at that ult economy, actually, yeah, Agron's pretty far away from that, so no op to come through. We'll see what they can do with this Fade ultimate, which is very good, and the Omen ultimate, which can be good, and usually it's okay.
And there's the situation you're stuck in as well. 5,500 on the Omen. Do they opt to buy the op, send it over to the chamber, and just soak the light armor on the Omen? But no, they opt for those 5 rifles. You're still going to be CCing 4-tapping here on the Omen. The spam's going to come through. Not a shot going to land, though, as Fade ult going to be leading in to this push towards B.
going so aggressively. Caillou actually able to find Hilton once again with the Hunter's Fury. Has been absolutely excellent with this. Ems has the knives out. Are they going to be able to get the timing? It doesn't matter. 4 tap-ins in the front. With that, Odin finds 2 more for themselves. It's a 2v4, 2v3 now on site. But here comes Jello to come back in and anchor that site. It's all on Agron's head here, but has no real chance of picking up that tour de force, at least not within a decent amount of time. Going to be going into Boathouse, but they are stuck here. There's no place for Agron to run.
Yeah, no teleporter set up. No tripwire to be found. It's really just going to come down to how well can you place your shots now. Actually got a good angle to not get spotted out by this turret here.
But you're stuck.
Yeah.
It's just taking away so much more space. You can't, leave. You can't go out through Boathouse. You either got to plant the spike and they'll know whereabouts you're planting it, or you just sort of wait this one out. Going to take out that turret really quickly, but they know exactly where he's shooting it from, and now here comes a shock dart coming down. Trying to take away every angle possible. This is so tough.
And the spike is going to be good. Now it's just going to be up to the 3 Saints here to make this retake happen. Molly's coming through. There's the sonar dart going to come out. Kill comes out onto Casper, but when you've got 3 up, you know that trade is going to come through, especially from the Saints. And there it is. We're going into overtime, map 1.
Don't want to say it, but, the curse sort of holding up there, to say the least. We're getting ourselves into a very interesting situation.
It really did just go 9-3, 9-3.
It did, and it's crazy to see that on defense. Look at, this is what we mean. We talk about how streaky the side of St. Clair have been. They lose 7 rounds in a row on offense, or on defense, when they're on offense there. Immediately turn it back around to go against 5 game points to get into overtime here. Very, very curious to see how this plays into the momentum, because you've got this momentum going for you. You've got this streaky, this streak going for you at well. We'll just see if they're going to be able to close this one out, because 7 out of the last 8 rounds they've had a fantastic side on the defense. Can they flip it around onto offense and pick themselves up one here?
That is really the question. I mean, we've seen that defense seems to be king right now when it comes to these teams, and who is going to come out on top here? Saints finding themselves on attack. Already the pick coming through from Coffee up a main there, and that's exactly what we saw the entire first half, that just picked apart the Saints. Saints almost unable to do anything in that first half up against these aggressive pushes, these, sneaky plays into Wine, or just straight up shift walking it down a main all the way down to Gelato and just fighting it out up there near top mid. And now you're 1 player down and you're dead even here in terms of ults, in terms of utility. There's C-Dub's going to come through. Knife gets destroyed.
That's still info. That's still info picked up here. You can see M's trying to peek out. Finds 1 actually for themselves. Going to stop that trademark as well, but the Prowler's coming down as well. And M's be the hero they need. Trying to get them onto site. Hilton takes down Caillou once again. On site, though, it's going to be Ty picking one up onto Casper as well. 3v2. Be a tough retake, but Omen's health bar not looking so hot right now. Going to be difficult to win this one out for either side. The spam coming through from Hilton, though, as they've taken a little bit of damage. Agron going to be able to find another one. It's all up to Ems. Will end up falling. The defense holds strong. It's match point once again for SNHU.
Yeah, and I think, we just saw first half flashbacks right there. I think we just saw exactly, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a round that played out exactly like that in first half there. Coffee finding that opening pick, and it just comes out to Saints. You lose one on the entry there into B, and then on the post plant, you just get absolutely torn to shreds, and there isn't much else you can do there. Now you just got to look towards this defending side. You had 5 rounds in a row where you took full advantage of this Odin, full advantage of this op, and you're seeing Ems glass cannoning the op here. You gotta play for a pick there. You see Ems already set up in Pizza, ready for this aggressive mid-angle that Ems typically plays here, and already Hilton and Agron ready to meet Ems.
Ems finds 1, though, and you know that they're good for that one. To be able to get out without a worry as well, and this is just such a good opener. When you're able to pick up that kill with the op right off the bat, you're feeling good. They're going to clear out Wine.
I love the clear out Wine.
Great play. You know what? Great play to clear out Wine, but still, Hilton taking a little bit, forces out the microwave at the very least, but Casper just going to spam through, dealing a lot of damage as well. This is tough from the side of SNHU. They're really looking for any sort of footing. They will get the plant down on A, as this is now, they put them on a timer. SAC needs to get their crap together. They need to get back on site and look for a collaborative effort.
And look at all this utility just raining down. KO Molly going to stall for just a little bit longer. Ems finds second of the round, putting this op to good use. Tie on the trade onto Casper.
No.
Jello going to fall as well to the right click. Ems, third of the round. And you find the fourth. There it is. Oh my lord, Ems, are you serious? What? Off the glass cannon op in overtime, bringing them to the next one. And now, let's run it back. Let's run back that overtime. Let's see what both these teams can change to end, you know, change the timeline. Like,
Change
at this
their fate.
point.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
like,
all defense thus far. It's how it's been, and my goodness, M's picking up 4 for themselves. Unlikely, I want to say, to get 4 on a glass cannon op without getting caught by some sort of utility with how much crap gets thrown around in Val. Sometimes, you know, you just die from something random. Like, oh, I guess I got outplayed at that. But nonetheless, M's just really showing up in crunch time here. You can see, getting the frag chart here, doing up for themselves. But look at this once again on defense. Look how aggressive this Chamber's getting. But Casper going to be able to trade one back. Caillou finds another one, and for the first time in a while, his attacking side looks like they have an advantage. We say that, and then there's even out once again, 3v3 on the map very early on. But look at that health on the KO, not looking so hot for the side of SNHU.
Yeah, that KO going to be rotating over towards this A side. We're 4-tapping, already starting to clear it out. That door is going to be closed. C-Dubs ready here with this pop flash. Flashbang going to come out. 2 flash there, but push not going to be good as C-Dubs has to start worrying about this glass angle. Hilton going to be breaking through that door, so now you've got this 3-pronged approach available.
Where Ems is, though, on such a crazy angle here if they can find the lurk. Hilton, though, holding that angle for their life. They're doing everything they can. Pi going to drop down the drone as well. Ems actually going to find the kill into Hilton. 4-time has 5 health. You've got to find something, gets ahead through the wall. But with 5 health, you really don't want to risk anything. Jello now trying to anchor this site. This is so close. Attackers have been miffed throughout this entire game, but it seems like St. Clair are going to push through. They put themselves to 14 and onto game point for the first time all game.
Is this going to be the closer? Are we going to see the absolute script flip here from the Saints in overtime, taking the first attacking round here in overtime now? And, I mean, we've seen how strong they are on defense. Look at Saints there on defense.
It's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, we look at this defense time and time again coming through from both of these sides. If we were to split it up, defense versus offense here, it's been 20 rounds on defense that teams have won, 6 on offense. They finally flipped the script, get the 7th round for either team on offense. It's been just a defensive stalwart, which is odd on a set at the very least, but now we'll see if that defensive bastion that we're talking about can hold once again. This drone just barely going to catch someone out, so they sniff out a little bit of aggression over at this A site. Hilton already throwing down these prowlers through mid, but my goodness, Caillou finds 1, finds 2 to open up the round. This is a great opener for the side of St. Clair. Finds the 3rd one there, but C-Dubs turns it back around.
Saints taking a play out of SNHU's book there to send 2 members, walk them down A main there, and find your picks. Now, look at SNHU in a dire situation here in game 1, and after the first half, I never thought we'd be in this point, and here, the Saints have shown us time and time again, they're resilient, you know, they're ready to make these adjustments that need to be had, and they're ready to take these fights head on. Let's see Jello there. The shot's going to come out. Wallbank's going to be good. 4-tapping deep in wine here, taking the coffee angle. And Jello, the swing is going to clean it up. 15-13. Double overtime win there for the Saints in map 1. And that was only map 1.
That was only map 1. I mean, it felt like a lot more than that, but my goodness, really fighting for their life on their map pick to be able to push it through. And I think overall, just an incredible effort coming through to get back from 9-3. Say, you know what, this is fine. We know, we trust in our defense. Being able to beat through that non-duelist comp in a lot of ways was what sort of pushed them over the edge. And I think, honestly, got to give a huge shout out to Ems. They're just able to come through with that 4K with their backs up against the wall against what, their 6th, 7th game point at that point. Just being able to find those frags, get the 4K when it mattered, to turn it around and complete the map of victory for the side of Saints. And My goodness, what a game they put together here. Look at that, Caillou at the top. It's not even a surprise at this point. Caillou's been absolutely insane for Saints.
Yeah, I mean, like, what can you say? Caillou coming in there, you know, we talk about M's, we talk about the op shots that are being hit, the picks that are being hit, and, you know, he's, as well as on that attacking side, the few rounds that they did win, you know, the dash smoke, it's going to give them that space onto site and stuff, but really, I think like half of Caillou's combat score there is literally coming just from the Hunter's Furies. The amount of work put in by this man on that ultimate is just unmatched right now.
Yeah, incredible stuff coming through. I mean, 29 kills, I believe, at the end of it for Caillou. Just showing that, you know, Campus Clutch wasn't a fluke. You know, the last couple of weeks haven't been a fluke. This isn't just some sort of random power coming through from Caillou. This is something that we should expect from Caillou at this point, and especially when you've got the shot calling from Casper there, you're able to sort of recenter yourself around some of these people who look to frag out as often as Caillou, and even Ems, you know, to be able to go as aggressive as they do. It's really good to have a well-rounded comp, but overall, great map one. Only map one, as we said, so, you know, we're in for some really good Valorant action.
Yeah, amazing comeback from the Saints there to be able to take map 1, and we are going to return to you back in a few minutes here on map 2, Haven. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, it's a 2v3 right now. You can see it's Coffee. Oh my goodness. Gonna be going down to Caillou's Sheriff shot. It's gonna be Caillou picking up another one onto Agron there. And that's gonna be an attacker win on the pistol. Always good to slow.
That's just M's left coming in from Heaven. Hilton, the defuse is coming down. You've only got so much time. You gotta push that diffuser. And there's the Thrifty coming through. M's finding the 4K in the
side of the Saints. Oh my goodness, speaking of which, Jello going to be able to sneak up underneath the
beat, shutting down Hilton here on site. Actually, 3 SNHU members here holding down this B site already.
Yeah, you can see just trying to spray through these Omen smokes as much as possible to try and get any information. Jello makes it onto site, going to get taken down, though, right as the null command expires. A little bit of unfortunate timing. M's going to go down, trying to go onto the table as well. Caillou going to be able to get one in return, but it's all up to 4tapping here. You know, 4 bullets in the chamber, potentially got 4 kills in line. There's one. Picking him up for himself. This Astra, though, not going to be able to get lots of noise on the way out, though. Might have to be careful of Agron's flank here. M's going to get caught with the head glitch there, unfortunately. As Casper going to be able to trade one back. Gonna be another one picked up by Hilton here, and the numbers advantage is going all in.
You're pushing in to an opping chamber on defense, and as Ty getting a little aggressive here, actually gonna get tagged down at the start, but there's Coffee with a double. That operator coming in clutch, and it's just an absolute... And coming in with another headshot. I feel like Hilton only finding headshot kills here. Just an absolute demon on that Vandal. Coffee coming in, trying to convert it to the third, and he...
playing down at the very least.
Yeah, because we're seeing that defaults are just being absolutely picked apart by the side of SNHU. So I like the idea of just get in there. You found the pick onto Coffee, someone who's been so common to just come in and shut down your team. But once again, it's these crazy picks. Agron coming in with a double there. Headhunter coming out for a headshot as well. And Hilton, you're going to start pushing this Bucky here. And that is going to pop to you soon. Caillou. No one's going to clear out Wine here. Coffee in perfect position to set up a great flank here. And there it is. Kill come out onto Casper, onto Jello, shutting down the null command, finds the
push through.
It's just that sheer utility, just slowing down these quick executes. Saints are trying to have all 5 players, 4 out of 5 players, flood out onto B site. And Jello holding B site down alone, but Ty coming in for the
X Factor once again. Astra Wall going to come through all ready to start off the round, but no frags quite yet. You can see giving that corner just a little bit of a peek there, but C-Dubs is on the other side of this. Going to get blinded so they don't spot it out. This is so close, though. You got to be careful with your plan. It's already coming down. Jello going to be able to do this. It's going to be a little bit of a tough situation. 4tapping finding 2 of them already. 3 picked up for 4tapping. Looking for even more. The utility coming down. Caillou using the Hunter's Fury as well. It's 4tapping going down, but Jello cleans up the last.
But he's ready to clear Garage. Agron the second. You know he's whipping out that Headhunter the second that this is taken down. They're going to be the kills coming out, but Casper finds 2. for himself. Can he make it the fourth attempt? That's gonna be
put SNHU at the disadvantage.
This is looking more like exactly how you'd expect one of these rounds to go. The buys come out, the kills come out, and we are one player away from a flawless here. C-Dub's out through mid. M's gonna dash jump there. Not gonna be.
I read this like a book though. Moment Ultimate goes on the opposite side though. Casper and Caillou are going to be able to pick that one up. Now they can clear this site. Now they know what is happening. M's 5 HP in a dream. Gonna hear this plant go down. It is full retake mode, but it's 3v2. This is going to be so challenging for Saints to be able to pull off. Coffee actually going to go down as well. Caillou able to pick up a Phantom. So if they can find this round, this is absolutely massive. Hilton hears all the footsteps. Do they have the timing? That's one, but they will fall. Kai situation alive. M's though, forced all the way back with the off already. Coffee though, 15 health, going to be taking so much from that Hunter's Fury. this Sova ultimate is excellent. Finds 2 kills already.
And look at the damage.
Spotted out how many people
4-tapping here.
4-tapping. You rat. If he can pull this off, it would be fantastic. There's 1, there's 2 picked up, there's 3 picked up with the judge. 4-tapping. He gets 3 there, and that's a
Ty falling second pick now. Caillou finds a double. It's just Coffee left, and you're stuck in B main.
Out for a cup at that, you know, just the last person left alive. Gonna try and peek around it is 4-tapping here, but you've still got this angle held by the op. Coffee gonna be able to find 1. Not gonna be quite enough, but as they get this detection, so they don't really know where any members are. Great op shot, gonna take down C-Dub over in tree. It's another one picked up by Ems. His shot is clean. They're gonna kill this out before the KO is able to get any sort of effort. But once again, on-site spike is down. Here comes the Killjoy ultimate.
Here it comes. All 3 players spotted out there, but nobody going to be taking out with the wall bangs. Casper dodges that bungee there as he's able to find the second. Okay, Molly going to stall for just a little bit longer. Ems finds second of the round, putting this off to good use. Tie on the trade onto Casper. Jello going to fall as well to the right click. Ems, third of the round. And you find the fourth. There it is.
Yeah, it's a 2v3 right now. You can see it's Coffee. Oh my goodness. Gonna be going down to Caillou's sheriff shot. It's gonna be Caillou picking up another one onto Agron there. And that's gonna be an attacker win on the pistol. Always good to solo.
That's just M's left coming in from heaven. Hilton, the defuse is coming down. You've only got so much time. You gotta push that diffuser. And there's the Thrifty coming through. M's finding the 4K in the
side of the stage. Oh my goodness, speaking of which, Jello gonna be able to sneak up underneath the
beat, shutting down Hilton here on site. Actually, 3 SNHU members here holding down this B site already.
Yeah, you can see just trying to spray through these omen smokes as much as possible to try and get any information. Jello makes it onto site, gonna get taken down though right as the null command expires. A little bit of unfortunate timing. M's gonna go down, trying to go onto the table as well. Caillou gonna be able to get one in return, but it's all up to 4-tapping here. You know, 4 bullets in the chamber, potentially got 4 kills in line. There's 1. Picking them up for himself. This Astra though, not gonna be able to get lots of noise on the way out though. Might have to be careful with Agron's flank here. M's gonna get caught with the head glitch there, unfortunately. As Casper gonna be able to trade one back. Gonna be another one picked up by Hilton here, and the numbers advantage is going all in.
You're pushing in to an offing chamber on defense, and as Ty getting a little aggressive here, actually gonna get tagged down at the start, but there's Coffee with a double. That operator coming in clutch, and it's just an absolute... And coming in with another headshot. I feel like Hilton only finding headshot kills here. Just an absolute demon on that Vandal. Coffee coming in, trying to convert it to the third, and he
playing down at the very least.
Yeah, because we're seeing that defaults are just being absolutely picked apart by the side of SNHU. So I like the idea of just get in there. You found the pick onto Coffee, someone who's been so common to just come in and shut down your team. But once again, it's these crazy picks. Agron coming in with a double there. Headhunter coming out for a headshot as well. And Hilton, you're going to start pushing this Bucky here. And that is going to talk to you soon. Caillou, no one's going to clear out Wine here. Coffee in perfect position to set up a great flank here. And there it is. Kill come out onto Casper, onto Jello, shutting down the null command, finds the
push through. And welcome back to more Saints Valorant action here. We're at him alongside Afundi once again. Insta-locks coming through from the side of SNHU here as their backs up against the wall. Series point effectively for the side of Saints here. And already you can see the locks coming through very quickly from both of these sides. Of note, Scrubby back in for Casper here. That's going to be the chamber locked in already. So a little bit of a switch up from what we saw last time with no chamber for the side of Saints.
Yeah, whereas SNHU, Agron there, you know, that chamber player who definitely put in a lot of work and was, you know, pretty standout as or alongside Hilton there on that defense there. Now going to be switching to the Jet on Haven. So we're seeing a little flip-flop here.
Oh, yeah.
As well as Omen coming out for both of these teams now, tapping. You know, Omen, a pretty common pick on Haven. Those regenerating smokes, you know, really help you later into the round when, you know, you're pushing C when you've used all your utility at A. At least you've got 1 or 2 smokes that are going to come back up at that time. Then, of course, you've also got M's on the patented raise, so no Sage this time.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go for just the typical raise fade combo of note here with Jello and M. So just trying to keep it as simple as possible. No need to sort of reveal any sort of crazy strategies either, because of note, while, you know, SNHU has had a tough start to this season, they're still a very strong team that could be going up against them in playoffs, maybe holding some of those strategies back just in case, just to make sure that they are not going to reveal too much. But of course, opening here, looks like you go towards A, you know, as always on Haven, you got to start the alphabet off somehow. So looks like it's just going to be a little bit of a default start here from Scrubby at the very least, but moving up A quickly as Agron already picks one up on M's.
Yeah, 4-tapping shots not going to hit on that shoulder there that was peeking out from Ty. Now it's Jello's found themselves all the way up short now. Way up sewer, but have to back out. Wow. Flash did not pop. That was a sus flash to say the least. Yeah. Valorant coding, all right.
It might have also just been behind the wall a little bit as well.
Yeah,
it might have just been a little bit off at that, but nonetheless, I'm not going to get any more information. Of note, that is Ty on the Sky this time around, so switching up the agents a little bit from both of these sides. You can see Caillou on the breach actually as well, so just some switch-ups coming through. They're going to try and execute onto the side, but Scrubby finds the head with the headhunter.
Yeah, now all this pressure onto site. Scrubby, though, had to switch guns. I think he ran out of headhunter bullets there, and now it's Jello playing this close corner, 4-tapping, coming through on the rotation. And all you got is C-dubs left here on the Killjoy, getting tapped down with that headshot. And once again, we see the pistol round heading over towards the Saints.
Well played, honestly, for them to just be able to get more control in their favor, start to push themselves into an early advantage here. And of note, this was sort of where they struck in both rounds. They won both pistol rounds in the first game, so we'll see if they can continue by converting onto the anti-eco as well. That's the main thing that they missed out on their attack side on Ascent, so very curious to see if they can convert on this bonus, be able to continue that pressure up, because thus far, really good opening round, you know, very clean, keeping a lot of those pistols attacked as well.
Yeah, for sure, and now we're seeing much more aggressive here, actually. 4 players down that mid area. Scrubby finding the pick over near Sewers, finds a second as well with that Bulldog. It's the right click on that Bulldog or the alternate fire. It's so good on the advanced rounds. Finds the third. M's clearing him out and through the smoke. 4-tapping, just gonna spam down Coffee and take that round quickly.
Yeah, just dropping the spray and pray, able to find whatever they so desire there, and now with this bonus round intact, it's the power of the Bulldogs. You know, you keep 2 of those Bulldogs, you're going to have some good ammunition to keep firing on all cylinders. Going to be Caillou actually pulling up with only the Sheriff, but even then, a solid bonus round is one where you can get a couple of these rifles down. Maybe if you win the round as well, you pick up those Vandals as well for yourself. So overall, a really good look here from Saints here, showing that on Haven, you can do quite well on attack as well. I think overall, Haven, more of an attacker-sided map as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got 3 sites, right? It's harder to defend 3 sites, truthfully, and there's so much more room for rotation, so many of these small corridors that interlink these sites, and now, what can SNHU do with the guns in hand is the question.
Yeah, I think the main thing to keep in mind as well is just the fact that when you've got something like when you've got Haven, it's all about those 1v1s. There's technically 5 entrances that you can go through. You've got to find those 1v1 wins. Agron already winning that one against the side of 4-tapping, but as you can see, jumping up there, Jello is going to be able to find that frag in return. But once again, this Omen just chilling on top of the box there on B, going to be able to find another one. It's a 3v2 situation, but Scrubby going to be able to upgrade here. End up being a 2v2 as C-dubs goes down as well, so overall, a little bit of an interesting situation. Everyone's spread out across the map to a sense. Agron's sort of behind enemy lines in a sense, but as they push up this isn't looking good. Scrubby, better check your corners, as Agron going to be able to collect that as well. And now just come down to the 1v1. M's with 120 effective health here. Going to be going up against Hilton, who is still full health, still has that Vandal intact, but it's just a little bit of a mystery here. Once this plant comes down, it'll start to close off this map a little bit more.
Yeah, are you going to see Hilton here? You missed the one-tap. Grenade going to come out, but now Hilton has all the time in the world to swing you. Ems doesn't need the plant, takes the gunfight, finds the Vandal earlier in that round, takes the gunfight, and you're going to confirm that third round for you, now putting Saints in such a good position to be able to, like you said, go on one of these long streaks that you see from the Saints so often.
And something to keep in mind as well, we look at Scrubby here, 6-2-1, already has the Tour de Force online. That's effectively a bonus in and of itself. You're just able to buy a Vandal for one of your homies, say, I'm going to look down C long, anyone who checks me, prepare to perish at that point. So curious to see what the answer is. Looks like Coffee with that Marshall might be the answer here, but already you can see how aggressively they can push forward here. Now that they've got that Econ advantage, it's really just shards of whatever they can put together for the side of SNHU as they try and find some sort of thrifty round.
Yeah, but I'm not against this Killjoy getting very aggressive. The entire team getting aggressive. C-Dub's going to fall from 4-tapping, but Hilton able to shut down that Tour de Force without trading anything out yourself, right? Now, this is brutal for the Saints. Yes, you still got weaponry advantage, but you just lost your Tour de Force. You lost another rifle to a round that you shouldn't be losing a player on, truthfully.
Yeah, it seems like the Marshall shot came through. Coffee actually going to fall as well as Caillou finds another one. Here it comes. The gunfight's toe-to-toe. Ty finds one. Egrin finds the other. These stingers are just a little bit too strong. Jello, do they have the clutch in them? No, as Hilton, with that picked up Vandal, is able to clutch it out. Thrifty round coming through for the side of SNHU.
Yeah, W key coming in absolutely clutch there in hand with the Stinger. It's just going to shut the Saints down early on, a round that they invested so much into as well. Now you can see the buys, they're able to come back for the Saints, but, really the economy, it's all in SNHU's hands at this point in the game.
It's bits and pieces of a buy here at the very least. You've got everything that you're looking for, but maybe you're missing one piece of util on someone like Scrubby, or you're missing something on Caillou. You got light shields on Jello. It's not the best buy that you can get. It's not optimal at that, but if you can win this round as well, it puts SNHU back in the dirt and already aggressively onto this A site, just looking for as much space as possible. When you've got this Fade Alt on tap, you can potentially take the site extremely quickly. 4-tapping, looking for these smokes down, looking for the paranoia, but honestly, already it's a full commit towards this A with how much utility they've been dumping.
No one getting tapped down through that smoke. There's the Fade Alt coming through. Scrubby fully blind and gonna have to TP out as Ems gets taken down on that entry. Flashes coming out from the breach now. Ooh, but not gonna put much together. Jello and Caillou trying to save this round, but Caillou dangerously low there.
Caillou has 13 health. I mean, this plant is so risky even at that. A little bit of damage to come through will mean doom, but the Tremor's going to come down. Actually, it's the grenade that misses just barely, so actually Caillou going to stay alive, but still with 13 health, you got to be so careful looking down. Unfortunately, C-Dubs can't get that last shot, as it's going to be a good win for the side of St. Clair to cut that economy down once again.
Yeah, if that Nanoswarm was like a pixel to the left, I don't think Caillou could have made it out of that. But the movement gonna win in the end. C-Dubs almost had the value there in the game, still ending that round 0-5-0 there on the Killjoy, whereas Saints now 3 rounds in the lead. Weapons available, light armor on Scrubby, but weapons available nonetheless, whereas you're seeing C-Dubs there. Sheriff coming out, Agram gonna have to pop the knives in this round to really do much, and you're nearsighted and the knives are gonna go down now.
Yeah, it's a really interesting sort of economy play here where you've got nothing on the side of this Killjoy still, but my goodness, Coffee with a great angle, gonna find 2 for themselves. It's an entrance onto A once again, 3v2, but with no gun really available on this Killjoy. Gotta favor the side of St. Clair here. If they can close this round out, they'll be looking really happy about this, as the grenade gonna force Sky all the way back. That Page Shell doing so good to zone him out, and on top here, C-Dubs just taking so much through the smoke.
Yeah, Ty flashes are gonna be good. C-Dubs jumping out of heaven, the whiffs! It's still gonna go over to the Saints, but 4-tapping. Cannot be whiffing those shots. C-Dubs grabs the first of the game there. Saints grabbing 5th round now, trying to get another one of these streaks going to end off this half. And they're still going to have economy advantage here.
Significantly so as well. I mean, I look at C-Dubs, who bought a Sheriff and full armor and came away with less credits than they started the last round with, which is really difficult at that. As we can see, though, Coffee with the Judge going to be trying to camp out in that smoke, look for what they can, but look at how aggressive the side of SNHU are already pushing up.
Yeah, wow, there's the headshot from C-Dubs, not able to find the next, and Scrubby converts it into 2. There's the flip side of these aggressive plays that SNHU likes to do. You've got a player like Scrubby in there, someone on the chamber who can just shoot it out.
Spike planted.
That's going to be the risk that comes with those plays. And, you know, I think they're so comfortable with doing it in this map because they weren't really punished for it at all on Ascent. And now that they're being punished, you know, you're finding yourself in a 4-round deficit here on first half against an attacker's side Saints, who has just seemed so clean so far.
And how loud can Hilton be? Oh, Coffee coming over the top with the Judge, but trying to upgrade the weaponry, going to be taken down. Kai has 45 health in his dream. Will not be able to do it. 4 tapping, 2 tapping him that time. Finding the kill as St. Clair go to 6.
Yeah, that's going to be round 6. And so far, there is nothing stopping this Saints momentum right now. We're going to see a timeout coming out from SNHU. And we talked about the timing of your timeouts, and this is the one. You're right before your first even buy round since round 3. How are you going to take this? How are you going to, you know, maybe just play slower? You know, maybe find a pick at the starting. It seems a lot of these starting of the round plays that SNHU is trying to get, they're just really not working out. Whether it's aggressive, whether it's, you know, getting that utility, trying to, you know, find a pick down sewers on a Saint who's pushing up just a little too far. Either way, it's just not working out right now.
Yeah, it's been an uphill battle for the side of SNHU here, and it feels like ever since we got to the half of map 1, they really haven't been able to get themselves together in a lot of ways. You know, total of 5 round wins across the last, you know, half and a half.
Yeah,
does that make sense? Yeah, I had to think about that one for a bit.
I understand you.
It's been an uphill battle for them, to say the least, and I think especially as Saints with all this momentum are now going to start to fight up, an even fight at that. We'll see what SNHU can do, because I think this operator on Agron going to be so important. Got to be so careful peeking down B, peeking down the C long as well. There's so many op corridors here. It really depends on what they want to play with it. As you can see here, already Agron peeking out B main. We'll see if they can just find a kill up mid really quickly and turn the tides in their favor.
And we see 2 Saints ready to make this push. Smoke gonna come out, but there's a tiny little gap for Agron to play with here. Spots out Jello, and there's the pick. That's how you want to start off this round for SNHU.
Yeah, both of us just sort of waiting silently, staring forward to see if it lands. Coffee going to be able to trade one back on a Caillou, but 4 tapping, able to reply. Scrubby caught out from Hilton, who pushes forward aggressively, but now M says, that's the trigger. I'm going in onto site. I'm going to try and find myself anything. Agron, already looking for the shots, is able to find another one on a 4 tap in there. This is M's versus the world, but if anyone's going to pull it out after the performances today, it's going to be M's.
Yeah, timeout, putting in, you know, so much effort. I think the timeout might have just helped the momentum to be stopped, but M's not slowing down one bit. Look at these rotations, isolating these 1v1s so perfectly. The ultimate is ready. Showstopper finds the kill, and Hilton shuts down the 1v4. Not gonna happen. 44 health left, and Hilton finds the headshot.
So close for M's. Almost has that highlight reel outplay around the boxes on A. You know, just barely. Just barely. One more shot moves a little bit higher, something along those lines, and maybe you've got yourself the clutch situation, but even then, so close. And that full buy from the side of SNHU, it's answered extremely well. There's still money on the side of St. Clair to be able to afford guns to keep this momentum, potentially switch it back in their favor, but great timeout timing ends up paying out with the win.
Yeah, we just saw textbook movement there from M's, just perfectly strafing back and forth, isolate the 1v1, find your 1 taps, and then the round didn't go his way, but man, was it a show of skill. Hilton now marked and decayed, also going to be stuck in that bungee there, and M's going to find the opening. Tags one, tags C-Dub through the wall there, as well as Spike now planted, post-plant, going to be good.
And as you can see, Rolling Thunder going to make this so difficult to come down. Lockdown coming through as well from this Killjoy, just buying themselves so much space. I think that covers the entire site, if I'm not wrong, so it's going to force everyone back, give them a chance to sort of retake this space. But even then, on the flank, Coffee, what are you doing? Can you find one? Yes, you can. You get your one. Is this going to be enough? Rolling Thunder going to come down to prevent the defuse. It's already half by the side of SNHU. They're pushing forward aggressively. Four tap and looking for it, but Scrubby and Caillou, their aim is just a little bit too good right now. St. Clair get the 7.
Yeah, the two players that were stuck there down A-long just deciding, all right, we're going to battle it out there on site. And I think 2 of those kills went to Scrubby literally in a jet smoke too. So that just shows how, you know, close they got. And they decided we've got that one extra player there in Garden there just in case anything happens. We might as well just send the bodies in. And now just look at the economy from SNHU. Saints looking to try and make this a 10-2 half here. What did we just see the Hero Vandal buy?
We did see a Hero Vandal buy coming through, as well as a Bucky coming through from Coffee there, just looking for anything that they can. Is going to get not spotted out here, actually. Going to try and find anything, but with the trigger discipline, it ends up not paying off. M's taking a lot of damage on the way in, but at the very least, able to find one. Caillou finds another one. Kai, only one left alive. Has a classic and a dream. Finds one onto M's at the very least. But nonetheless, that's an 8th round picked up for St. Clair. They're looking really good. They've turned around on a dime after what was a really weak first half of this entire series, and now just running on all cylinders.
Yeah. 8th round. Not only that, but you only lost M's there, meaning look at Hilton right now. No armor, Guardian buy. You know, you have to get some kills back on those eco rounds. You have to find those frags because otherwise your economy is just going to be in the dumps for these next 2 rounds, and now you've got to force it out.
Yeah, the Hero Vandal doesn't end up paying out. It ends up being a little bit of a hindrance as well, because now SNHU not going to have a full buy on everyone for that last round, or full buy on this round for everyone. So there's going to be those Guardians looking for whatever they can. I mean, you have to just look for these head taps here at the very least. A really tight angle coming through. They're going to be able to spot him out. The Paranoia works overtime there as M's. Angelo actually going to team up for a couple of kills there already. St. Clair showing how they got to that campus clutch finals here. This is what we saw them do so many times. And of note, this is on SNHU's map pick.
Yeah. Can we talk about just the fact that since that first half on Ascent there, Saints have just been on an absolute warpath. Jello went in, essentially 1v2'd both of those fights because, yeah, there was a second member, but no shots ended up coming through. No assist was there. That was a Jello 2K to start off the round, and now should be able to convert this into 9-2 here. Jello looking for the 3rd. Jello, you know you want to make it a 4th. Flash comes through. So blind, and there it is. Caillou 4-tapping, cleaning up the Flawless there, taking out Coffee and Ty that are left.
And you can
what
actually
a series so far.
Yeah, you could see that Jello actually try to shoot the bird. You can't do that anymore, unfortunately. Some changes came through to Skies where you can't kill the bird anymore. But if we look across the economies, once again, Hilton has enough for a Vandal and absolutely nothing else. You know, nothing in the inventory to even try and supplement that. It's a Sheriff full of shields, you know, a Bulldog, a couple Marshals. And it's half buys at best. It's weak coming through from the side of SNHU. They need to try and force this because we saw the 9-3 curse work against them last round. Maybe it can work for them this time around. Knives actually out for the Jet as well, but M's already dealing so much damage. It's Scrubby picking up one, 4-tap and picking up another one. Jello finds Ty through the smoke. Now it's just so tough. 5v2 already. SNHU have no answers for St. Clair on this map.
Coffee almost making it work there, but that's where the 20 bullets in the Stinger are going to be to your detriment. You know, as much as it is a great gun right now, still only got 20 bullets in that clip there, and they shoot very fast. That is going to be 10-2 for Saints here, moving into defense as well. Just look at that timeline.
It's rough. I mean, it's a lot going in favor of St. Clair. I mean, one really tough Thrifty, I want to say, on round 4, but since then it's just been very coordinated efforts to continue pushing forward this lead. And now SNHU, they're going to have to come up with a little bit of a miracle on this offensive half. We talk about how Haven is a little bit more offensive focused. I don't think it's 10-2 offensive focused at that. It's going to be difficult for them to even this game up, but we've seen glimpses of brilliance coming through from Coffee. I think they're going to be the one that we're keeping our eye on to see if they can turn this map around.
Oh, 100%. I really think, you know, as much as a lot of them have been on, like, cheese aggressive plays and stuff, those same cheese aggressive plays are exactly how SNHU found the lead in that first half on Ascent. So you got to make something work here, Coffee. You got to start putting in something for the team. The paint grenade just going to go by as it actually finds Agrin. Caillou able to convert that into, you know, even numbers here.
Even numbers, but still going to be tough as they try and take a retake here. Actually, great paranoia coming down for Tap, and going to be able to collect another one as Carly gets on the board. C-Dub's going to be able to turn one back around to Caillou, but 100 effective HP. You've got to be really careful, especially against these two ghosts. For Tap, and picks up their second of the round as the St. Clair push to 11.
Yeah, there it is. Pistol round going their way. They've won every single pistol round in this series thus far. That's going to make it 4 here in the second map, and now, you see the force coming out from SNHU, you see the Spectres, you see the Stingers in hand, and really, it's just going to come down to whose eco weapons win out in this round.
Yeah, you can see C-Dub's actually able to afford a Spectre for themselves. That's really big compared to the Stinger because, once again, a little bit of a slower rate of fire, but a little bit more accurate, a little bit better at cutting down people from range. I think that could be your answer to this sort of game plan, but even then, they're playing so aggressively, trying to find as much space as possible. Caillou with the Bucky collects one as Ems with the paint shell able to collect another one, but it's evened out quickly. Kai and C-Dub's able to answer in kind. Jello looking for whatever they can, but that Stinger, it is not the same as a Spectre. Bodies falling to the floor. Jello picks up a 3K.
Jello, are you serious right now? Look at how many 3Ks has Jello found in this game. Like,
Jello's been on a tear this entire series, it feels. And
yeah.
Caillou says, you liked my Bucky? How about my Odin? They're just full bind and trying to clear this one out.
Double Odin. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, Odin! I love it. I love it, Adam.
I love it.
I'm prepared to watch these Odins end the game, and I am more than happy to watch it.
I mean, first of all, they're going to let Jello walk forward first. They're just going to say, this is how we're doing it. Oh my goodness, they're already spread. They find one on the tie. How could you do it like this? The Odin's just absolutely ripping through the health bars. Jello moving forward so aggressively. Finds one. And just going up again. Knifes him down. Agrin, my goodness.
Oh,
they got ahead. And Hilton's already popping down the GG. They're pulling out the knives. They're looking for whatever they can. Four Tapman's got the moves. I don't know if it's enough. Knifing him down. It's going to be down to the end. And Ems cleans it up with the knife. What an entertaining way to end it. 13-2. They're in the room next to us. They're popping off louder than I've heard them ever pop off. My goodness.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you can hear that over our mics right now, but wow. I mean, if there's any way to end a stomp of a game, you might as well end it with 4 Odins and, you know,
and the knife kills.
And a classic night in the UK. So really, it's just going to come down to a 2-0 here from the Saints. Probably, you know, one of the closest map ones we've ever seen in Valorant thus far, and then, you know, just a straight stomp in map 2 there on Ascent, on, like you had said, on SNHU's map pick as well.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Jello, 329 ACS there, just popping off. Good for 2 every single round, it felt like at that. And I think overall, Saints have really shown their resilience. They've shown what they can push forward through some tough situations. I mean, down 9-3, they show the curse is real, able to turn that back around into an incredible 10-2 first half on Haven. Not on their map pick, as we said, and on defense, just having a little fun at the end. Pulling out the knives, pulling out the Odins, making sure that they take no victims. So that will push Saints to 4-1 on the season. Unfortunately, SNHU going to be having an uphill battle for the rest of this season with a 1-4 record, but just a really, really, really strong performance coming through from the side of Saints tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but I mean, after you secure that comeback, you literally 9-3 curse them, come back, second overtime, you're able to win it. I mean, how can you not carry that momentum onto map 2 and just keep it going? Because really, after that half, Saints dropped 5 rounds after the first half. 2 maps, or I guess
three halves.
Yeah.
Three halves, realistically. That's how we'll phrase it here. 3 halves, you dropped 5 rounds. You got to feel good about that.
100%. And I think especially when we look at this team and how well they did in the campus clutch, how well they've done over the last little bit in all of their competitions, they've really looked like one of the top teams in Canada at this point. And I think, the power rankings came through and Saints Val was, not looking so hot on that. There was another collegiate one where they weren't even in the top 25. They're showing that, hey, they're for real at this point. I mean, only stopped by Big Pizza University. Still waiting to hear back from them about what they're offering in terms of they're doing over there. But nonetheless, all jokes aside, they're really showing that they've got something to fight for. And I think across all of our titles, it's been just incredible to see them come above and beyond in so many ways. And I mean, if we look ahead to the schedule for the week, we've got a lot of really interesting matchups coming through as well. Curious to see what the other teams can pull forth for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, coming in, we do have Overwatch for you guys tomorrow night. That is going to be 7 o'clock. I believe it's actually been changed to a double header as of now, as far as I'm aware. I know you're going to be here for that, Adam. I'm unfortunately going to be missing that. One day I'm going to be here for Overwatch, and we're going to have a great time casting that as well. And then as we move on to Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday we've got NECC League, which is always great to watch, and then NACE League as well on Thursday. So we're going to see some more League of Legends action. I mean, the league team's been absolutely crushing it. You can't deny the results, and every single time it's an entertaining game. So can't wait to see that. And then Friday, I believe we're coming back in with some Rocket League, if I'm not mistaken, and then something else after that as well. We're going to turn it into a doubleheader. It is actually confirmed as R6. So I know, we've been throwing in a lot of those academy teams. A lot of them happen to happen on Friday night. So, Friday Night Academy, I love it. I'm all for it. We've seen CS, we've seen R6. Now we're going to have R6 coming back. It's going to be great to get back on the mic for that game as well.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, rounding out the week with Saturday Rocket League, always the classic here, I think, on the Saints broadcast every single time. CCA is coming back, so it's going to be fun in mind. But of course, overall, a great showing from the Saints today. We got to hear every single emotion that they could have in the tag next to us as well, and a really dominant map too. But of course, that will be it for us tonight. Want to give a big shout out, of course, to our producer, director, everything here, Dan, who's at the back. We've also got Kaylee doing the directing for us tonight, as well as Ryan doing the observance. So big shout out to them. Of course, big shout out to you for being my wonderful co-caster. But of course, that will be it for tonight. All of you have a great evening. We'll be back with more action for you tomorrow. Switching up the agents a little bit from both of these sides. NJCAAE in the breach, actually, as well. So just some switch-ups coming through. They're going to try and execute onto the site, but Scrubby finds the head with the head on here.
Yeah, now all this pressure onto site. Scrubby, though, had to switch guns. I think he ran out of Headhunter bullets there, and now it's Jello playing this close corner, tapping, coming through on the rotation. And all you got is C-Dubs left here on the Killjoy, getting tapped down. 4 players down that mid area. Scrubby finding the pick over near Sewers, finds a second as well with that Bulldog. It's the right click on that Bulldog for the alternate fire. It's so good on the advanced rounds. Finds the third. M's clearing him out and through the smoke.
A little bit of a mystery here. Once this plant comes down, start to close off this map a little bit more.
Yeah, are you going to see Hilton here? You missed the one tap. Grenade going to come out, but now Hilton has all the time in the world to swing you. Ems does it. Seriously low there.
Kayu has 13 health. I mean, this plant is so risky even at that. A little bit of damage to come through will mean doom, but the Tremor's going to come down. Actually, it's the grenade that misses just barely, so actually Kayu going to stay alive, but still with 13 health, you got to be so careful looking down. Sky all the way back. That Page Shell doing so good to zone him out, and on top here, C-Dubs just taking so much through the smoke.
Yeah, tie flashes are going to be good. C-Dubs jumping out of heaven, the whiffs!
What's happened there? This is Ems versus the world, but if anyone's going to pull it out after the performances today, it's going to be Ems.
Yeah, timeout putting in, so much effort. I think the timeout might have just helped the momentum to be stopped, but Ems not slowing down one bit. Look at these rotations, isolating these 1v1s so perfectly. The ultimate is ready. Showstopper finds the kill, and Hilton shuts down the 1v4.
Maybe it can work for him this time around. Knives actually out for the Jet as well, but Ems already dealing so much damage. It's Scrubby picking up one, 4-tap and picking up another one. Jello finds Ty through the smoke. Now it's just so tough. 5v2 already. SNHU have no answers for St. Clair on this map.
First half on Ascent, so you got to make something work here, Coffee. You got to start putting in something for the team. The paint grenade just going to go by as it actually finds Agrin. Caillou able to convert that into, you know, even numbers here.
Even numbers, but still going to be tough.